model. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, big win yesterday, but did Democrats, all of them, get the memo on what the Supreme Court said for the third time yesterday? Here's Josh Shapiro. He says, well, the people in Montgomery County and other counties, they were damned if they did and damned if they didn't count undated ballots because of failures by the state legislature to address problems with state election law. This guy surfaces, he's the next level on this. In addition to that Bucks County Commissioner meeting tomorrow, joining us is a man who spearheaded this, Mr. Election Integrity, RNC Chairman Michael Watley here on the Dom Show. Chairman, welcome back to Philadelphia. Congratulations on this hard-fought yesterday on something that should have been pretty obvious.
Well, it is pretty obvious, and the fact that you have to go back to the Supreme Court over and over and over again in order to bludgeon these counties into doing the right thing is really disappointing, and we continually hear, about the threat to democracy that the Republican Party poses from the Democrats, and yet here they are, going to the mat to count illegal ballots. I mean, even today, we're hearing reports from Democrats in Luzerne County who are trying to count these ballots after the Supreme Court order yesterday. So, we really, truly need to have a conversation about where the threat to democracy is coming from. And I feel pretty strongly that the Republicans are the ones right now who are doing everything they can to defend it.
Exactly. Luzerne County, too. The other part, you probably saw this, Chairman, but for listeners, they rejected 142 mail-in ballots, and that is a pretty good Trump stronghold in Pennsylvania after staffers screwed up the ballot processing. So, to your point, Republicans are not the ones doing all these shenanigans or anything close to this. Your thoughts as we move the ball forward, though, on Josh Shapiro and what I just read, saying these people were damned if they did and damned if they didn't. Why are we going after them?
Well, look, I'll be honest with you. Josh Shapiro has been very, very late to this game to even recognize the fact that the Supreme Court has instructed the counties to obey the law. He should have been out front on this from day one saying, guys, we have the rules, follow the rules. But he didn't. He's been playing, this whole thing, I think, frankly, too cute by half. And there needs to be an impact in terms of him on this as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's pretty obvious to the average layman, Chairman. I dropped out of law school, but it's obvious to me the Supreme Court should have moved on this and decided the broader question here. But what they said is it was too late in the game. So for this year, you absolutely have to not count these ballots. You have to follow the will of the legislature. And then at some point, they're going to rule on that also. It's a pretty obvious thing.
It is, but the fact is that it is not up to the courts
right.
to create law. It is up for the courts to interpret the law. The
Right.
legislature in Pennsylvania has been very clear that these ballots are not to be counted. And I do think that overall, you get into these types of fights and you lose sight of the big picture. The big picture is Dave McCormick is going to be the next senator from Pennsylvania. There is absolutely no way that this recount is going to overturn that fact. Shame on Bob Casey for putting the taxpayers through this by spending, millions of dollars on a recount that is absolutely not going to change a thing. And so, what we want to make sure that we're doing is just talking about what is Donald Trump going to do when he takes office? What is Dave McCormick going to do when he becomes the 51st Republican senator and gives us that Republican majority in the Senate? We're going to fight for all of the same things that we have been saying we're going to fight for. We're going to fight for Pennsylvania families. We're going to fight to rebuild the economy, to restore our southern border, and to ensure that we're strong enough at home and abroad to protect our interests and our allies. These are the things that the Pennsylvania families and voters care about. They don't want to see this kind of squabbling. They do not want to see, officials in Bucks County saying, I know this is the law, but I'm going to violate it anyway. They don't want to see people in Luzerne County, who are openly trying to defy the third straight Supreme Court ruling on this. What they want is these Democrat officials to do their job and to work for them and to make sure that they're protecting their families. That's what Republicans are going to do.
Exactly. One other area, though, listeners are concerned that the only way to stop this, in addition to all these court rulings, is there has to be some sanction on a place like Bucks County, who's made national news twice, once slow-walking voters during the election cycle who were trying to vote by mail in person, and now with this, I'm just going to violate the law. Any thoughts on that, or are you, in your mind, are you kind of past this and we've gotten the decision we want?
Oh, no, we're not past this. I mean, the fact is that you have officials who are brazenly defying the law. That cannot stand. And obviously, these are elected officials, and so there's going to be elections where they certainly are going to be challenged. But in the meantime, we need to push this. We need to have a conversation about this. And I'm going to push, as far as the law will allow me to push, to make sure that we are punishing people who are knowingly violating the law and disregarding their duty to protect every ballot in their county.
Well, look, I'm in complete agreement, and I have interviewed the man once, at least. The new attorney general will be coming our way. It won't be Josh Shapiro's lackeys there in Harrisburg. And certainly this has all the earmarks of something like election interference.
I could not agree more. Very, very excited about the win that we had there. And look, I think we are going to continue to have these conversations, but there needs to be consequences to acting outside the law. And really, it doesn't just affect these, couple of hundred votes or these 1,000 votes. It affects every single vote that is cast. We saw millions of votes that were cast across the state of Pennsylvania, and you are absolutely harming every one of those voters when you act in this way outside the law.
Without a doubt, because many of the places that were red Trump voters, they may have gotten thrown out. People follow the law. If they didn't have the proper mail-in ballot, it ought to be the same thing in these blue capitals.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's equal treatment under the law, and I'm very excited that we're going to have a Department of Justice under President Trump that is going to take these things seriously. We're going to have a Republican Attorney General who's going to take these things seriously, and they need to be. There need to be consequences for these types of actions.
Thank you, Chairman Watley. And again, election integrity, core issue. Listeners know that you're on it. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dom.
There is RNC Chairman Michael Watley here on Talk Radio 1210. And yesterday, I couldn't quite say it. He got it said with me here. Watch for, no, I'm not sure if he's going to do it, but he's going to look at it. Dave Sunday, who is the new Attorney General. We've had him on. And I think he's going to take a hard look at what they did in Bucks County, particularly the statement by Marsaglia, who last night said it was not artful, just misinterpreted. Now, tomorrow, we know that Scott Presler is going to be over there, and I hope to bring you some of that during the show tomorrow with Scott. It's a 10:30 meeting over in Doylestown of the Board of Commissioners. And I know people go, 10:30, why in the world do these legislative bodies, why don't they, executive body, why don't they meet 6 o'clock at night where people can go to it? Why in the world? That's the first question I'd ask. But also, Jim Worthington will be on a little bit later in the show. He's one of our Mount Rushmore people. Don't forget the big event, 6 days away. At the NAC, noon until 3, you'll be able to see the people that really helped to carry Pennsylvania for President Trump. He's putting together a group to head over tomorrow, and he'll give you all the details at 1:30 to be there when Mersaglia and Bob Harvey, Harv de Grasse, Harv, tell us what? They seem to be kind of taking a victory lap as if they won something here, her statements. In other words, I got clarity finally. That's all that I wanted, clarity. Hey, Diane, the court gave you clarity 2 times. We just went through it. You want the bigger questions settled about the constitutionality. I wish they would settle it too. But they did settle something because of the dawn of the election. You're not to count these votes. They said it 3 times now. You didn't need any more clarity. You just wanted to do it, and then the pressure got to be incredible. Josh Shapiro surfaces here and says, well, what were they supposed to do? Trying to bail himself out. The pressure got to be too extreme. But this is a political thing in addition to a legal thing here. They're both in play. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all that you have to do is just push pound 1210. Hey, one thing that I don't forget that's international, with the Biden administration, this is serious business, upping the range of missiles we've given to Ukraine, reaching deeper into Russia. Putin saber-rattling the Swedes now. They tell their citizens to prepare for war. 5 million households got pamphlets on how to get their homes ready for nuclear Armageddon. How are they doing that in Sweden? But if you remember, our buddy Robin Schaefer took me to this group of people touring before the election on a Saturday, Norway, Denmark, and Sweden. And the Swedes there said, as a result of President Trump, they really upped their defensive spending. In the past, they really have moved forward on that. See the wisdom of that. So this all seems to be out of, a cartoon, not going to happen. But this is a dangerous move by Biden, this close to a Trump administration. All right, side question today. On this day in history, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, a great film, and the book is very good too. So it was kind of a spin-off, an adaptation that often happens, a film.
Yeah, they had that Ratchet that was pretty bad.
Yes.
The spin-off Ratchet that came out on Netflix by Ryan Murphy.
Oh, man, I don't even know if I said
that. There was wokeness that was involved in it.
Nurse Ratchet is one of the all-time great characters. Boy, every bit somebody who stood up to McMurphy. So on 11/19/1975, and it won all the big awards. We're looking today, we're taking the negative side. It's more fun. Something that's a spin-off of a film, TV show,
anything,
or a product, or anything else that you can think of that's a twist off it, that's a failure. That's bad. Yeah, don't say New Coke. We've got New Coke 5,000 times.
Oh, I got one better than New Coke that's involved with Coca-Cola, though.
And that is?
Vanilla Coke, an absolutely overrated spin-off. It's not good. Better is Cherry Coke, a better spin-off. Vanilla Coke, way overrated.
Disagree.
Have you had the Orange Coke, too?
No, I wouldn't.
I've not eaten any of that. Had drank any of those.
I'm out of this conversation completely.
All right, so Friends, all-time classic, even though I don't think I've seen more than 30 seconds. Joey coming off that.
Yeah,
and,
it has to.
I don't know that all of them are, most of them are good they're great spin-offs.
Yeah.
You have All in the Family, you have Maude.
Yeah.
You have the Jeffersons. Those are some of the top 100 TV shows ever, arguably, and they're spin-offs of All in the Family. They had a lot. So, Henry, what's your bad spinoff?
Yeah, so I got two for you here for the price of one. One of my favorite sitcoms of all time is That 70s Show.
Yes.
The subsequent sequel, That 80s Show, bombed in less than a season. And then they have a new show on Netflix right now called That 90s Show. And while I think it's okay, it's not nearly as funny, and it relies heavily on the 90s nostalgia to get it through every episode. So
Cheap thrills?
Yeah, Cheap Thrills, just not the same as the original show.
All right, Dan, how about yours?
Gosh, I have so many, Dom. I'll take off one of my favorites. We see the guy on TV all the time shelling for the My Pillow, and then he released a bunch of commercials of a person shopping around Walmart or a grocery section wearing his new spin-off product, My Slippers.
That's quite a few spin-offs there. Yeah,
a lot of spin-offs there with them. Yeah,
the slippers are brutal. The pillow was a good invention.
The pillow was a great invention, but he spun it off, and I think he's doing too much now.
Sheets. Only Giza
do
can
you really
make
need
those sheets.
And Nissan, Dom, put out an SUV called the Nissan Murano. And then they decided to make a cross-tech version of it, take the top off, and make a convertible SUV. The Nissan Murano hatch, whatever they call it, I don't know, but horrible spin-off of a pretty bad car. Well, I like the Nissan Murano itself. No, it's called like the Cross Country.
I thought maybe if it's called the Hatch, it looks like a half-cracked open egg. Like something was
All right,
hatching
the
out.
Cross Cabriolet.
So it's a wide open field, bad spin-offs of just about anything. That's what you get in with. Give me a reaction to where we are. Are you going on Wednesday? We'll hear from Jim Worthington. Scott Presler will be there. I'm going to try to tape him as he enters the room. So that we'll play that back for you at noon. It starts at 10:30. You heard Watley. I thought he said, we're just going to say, no. There's got to be accountability here. And these commissioners in Bucks County are on the front lines. As I said, Lisa Dealey in Philadelphia doesn't sound to me like it's over. We tried to get the Republican on. No word from him, and he usually comes on. I don't know that Philadelphia's given up on this. And Watley said Luzerne County, the one that Scott Presler always goes after, they're apparently still doing this. So what's the penalty going to be? All right, we'll find out as this continues. But remember, you heard it here. Watch Dave Sunday. Watch the new Attorney General when he gets in. Watch his review of this. I don't know if it meets all the legal requirements, but it certainly looks like election interference. That's exactly what Diane out there, in my view, in Bucks County engaged in. Election interference. Trying to push Bob Casey over the top in some perverted manner. All right, coming up, I told you about all the feeder schools to Lincoln High School in Northeast Philadelphia. How much are people going to put up with? Well, Lincoln High School now, the Daily Mail, the big British publication, they say it's so overcrowded, some students must eat lunch at 9 a.m. Imagine kids going to school, your lunchtime is 9 a.m.
Hey.
Now, when I went to St. John Newman, it was 10:45, which is pushing it a little bit.
I had lunch one year. It was at 9:30.
Oh, my God. Well, this is just, and again, Lincoln is built for, I'll give you the number, and that's not the only thing they're doing there. And what's the problem with it? Why are they so overcrowded? Immigrants. How many of them are here legally in Philadelphia? Are people in Northeast Philadelphia going to turn away from the Democrat Party? They did a bit with Joe Picozzi. We're going to talk to David O., who ran as the mayor candidate the last time at 2:30 today. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210, AT&T, and Verizon Wireless. All you need to do is just push pound 1210.
High school football is back. High school football is back. And so is the Friday Night High School Football Scoreboard Show. Join Daryl Dobis, James Bailey, and Matt Dents. Friday nights 10 till midnight. For a rundown of all the big high school games in the region and expert analysis. The Friday Night High School Football Scoreboard Show. Friday night at 10. Only on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. And the free Odyssey app.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your find.
With curbside pickup available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Shop Dell Technologies Black Friday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Black Friday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. The holidays are almost here. Is your smile ready? Ready for all those pictures? Ready for all those holiday close-ups? Well, whether it's ready or not, those holiday pictures are coming. So if it's not ready, reach out to my buddy, Dr. Mike Veneria. As you know, my entire family goes to Dr. Mike. His level of care and commitment to dental excellence is simply unmatched. And if you're nervous to go see the dentist, don't be. Dr. Mike is a great guy. 2 locations to serve you in Cinnaminson and Woodbury. Great music playing in the office. Great staff who works there. They're terrific people. And if you need a complex dental procedure like a dental implant, Dr. Mike has been recognized among his peers as a master of dental implants for 10 consecutive years. That's right. So get that beautiful, healthy smile you deserve. And listen, my kids go to Dr. Mike. We all go to Dr. Mike. He's my dentist. People ask him all the time, does Rich really come here? Yes, he's my dentist, and Mama Zioli discovered him for our family. So reach out to Dr. Mike today, 856-786-2020, or veneriadental.com.
Free speech lives here with Rich Zioli weekday afternoons 3 till 7 on Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
All right, Tom Giordano Show, 855-839-1210. So is it over? And do they just get away with it? Do they continue to take a shot? You take all those shots and then you just move on. That's not what Michael Watley said. And he's saying about the Bucks County commissioners and these others. I'm not even sure over in Montgomery County if that guy is still not busily counting there. And you heard Luzerne County. What about Center County, Penn State, and Philadelphia with Lisa Daly? All right, I heard from somebody here with the Philadelphia Republican commissioner. We'll get him on tomorrow and find out exactly what they're doing at this point. Are they standing down? Do they recognize this is the third time from the court? Is that it? Now, Lincoln High School, we told you about Baldy and all these others, Anne Frank, I think it is, all these feeder schools last week, completely overcrowded, kids in closets. So the Daily Mail writes about Lincoln. Kids have to carry everything around in backpacks all day because there are not enough lockers. It's now 1,000 kids above capacity. 9 a.m. lunches. Officials have added makeshift divisions to increase the number of classrooms, but teachers say the new walls are too thin to stop noise during lessons. And they go on to say immigration was a key issue 2024. The crowding is insane, some have said, and this is due to an influx of immigrants. Are they here legally? Why all of a sudden? I mean, where's all this coming from? Does anybody even care? So are people in Northeast Philadelphia, for example, which are moderate Democrats, they went with Bokosi, they went with Trump this time, are they finally realizing, I mean, would this happen in Center City, Philadelphia, Rittenhouse Square, the McCall School, let me think of some of the, Greenfield over in 22nd Street. Would it happen there? I go by that every day when I have to park my car fairly far away. Doesn't appear to be overcrowded to me, not like this. What would happen in those schools? Mastermen. Yeah, mastermen. What would happen in those schools, in the Philadelphia public schools, if suddenly all these, quote, immigrants are there in those schools? The very people, progressives, the liberals, Center City, Philadelphia. What would they say? What would they have the political juice? They're not going to allow that. So even after the election, right here in Philadelphia, now the Inquirer doesn't give the reason. They just say, well, a lot of ESL teachers are strained, etc. I can't believe that most of this is legal. I don't think it is. There's still any number of Democrats up there in Northeast Philadelphia. They still hold most of the offices. Brendan Boyle, the congressman, they talk about him as a speaker today, someday of the House. There's any number of the state and one senator, how many reps? They're Democrats. Martina White's there. Joe Bocosi's there now. But mostly they've been Democrats. How much are people going to put up with before they see what this is all about? Who's the architect of this stuff? Democrats. And it brings up what's going to happen in Philadelphia when Tom Homan starts his campaign, the head of border security. It's the borders are. Today on Fox and Friends, he said that on day one, a national emergency will be declared around the border. And that will then result in moving in on the guesstimate of 1.3 million people who have been told to deport but are still here. They're just not deporting. They've been adjudicated. Now, I'm just hoping that ICE, and I know they're bringing in a lot of people from desk jobs and all that. I would much rather, we don't want to give the other side the upper hand early on. I know some people just want the military to go in there, and I don't want to do that. That gives them the emotional upper hand here. Get enough ICE people, deputize enough local people. It's going to be hard in places like Philadelphia. But I wonder in the suburbs, here's where we can make this point. What suburban towns, are they going to reject helping ICE to rid potential criminals, people that are up for deportation? They've been told to deport. They just haven't done it. Is that going to happen? We'll have to see on a case-by-case basis. We know Philadelphia won't help, but they haven't been blatant like some of these cities in saying they're not going to get involved. Boston seems like they're going to even try to be in the way, and that's not going to work. So that first day, expect national emergency, border security, deport upwards of 1.4, 1.5, 1.6 million people. Either criminals, national security risk, or people that have already been told to deport. Now, yesterday, this is cut 9, in the Laken Riley murder case, and it's, again, it goes from Spanish to English. The roommate of the alleged killer testified about how he and the killer went to the Roosevelt Hotel in New York and then decided, was offered to them, humanitarian, to take a flight and live in Georgia, where Laken Riley was killed in a 17-minute attack that she fought off this alleged killer. Here's how it sounded.
Someone else that you got to know, that you lived with while you were here in Athens.
Alguien más que llegaste a conocer, que vivió con ustedes aquí en Athens.
Giancarlo Hernández.
Giancarlos Hernández.
Okay. And how did you get to Athens?
¿Y cómo llegaron a Athens?
En Nueva York pedimos en Manhattan.
In New York, we asked in Manhattan.
En el Hotel Roosevelt.
And Hotel Roosevelt.
De Manhattan pedimos un vuelo humanitario aquí hasta Atlanta.
In Manhattan, we requested for a humanitarian flight to come here to Atlanta.
And when was that?
¿Y cuándo fue eso?
Como de 9 a 10 de septiembre.
Around the 9th, 10th of September.
And where did you go when you arrived in Athens?
Y cuando llegó a Athens, ¿a dónde fue?
Al aeropuerto airport.
To the airport. Al
aeropuerto de Atlanta.
Airport.
Jackson Airport.
All right, so humanitarian flight paid for by whom? The Biden administration, Harris administration, and the American taxpayer. This is the type of thing that people sensed. They're starting to hear more and more of it. The Lincoln High School thing is an example. How could you pay all those taxes? How could you live in Northeast Philadelphia and seriously believe any one of those Democrats, whoever they are, whichever Democrat we're talking about in Philadelphia, Start with Brendan Boyle, public enemy number one. Is he asked about it? Is Brendan Boyle asked about Lincoln High School? And what would his response be? Well, probably we don't have enough money. We need to build another school. If he's asked, are these people here legally? That's not our business to know. This is America. We can't possibly know that. Just think about what that's like every day, that school. Look, the Philadelphia public schools suck. They suck anyhow. They sucked yesterday. They're going to suck even more the next week. I debate that, bring that superintendent any day of the week. They're never going to be productive, with exceptions due to great parental involvement in a few schools. So the mission is to get to a charter school, to get school choice, to get out of there. But if you're stuck in there, imagine a school that's over 1,000 more than it should be. No lockers, classrooms pushed together. I just can't imagine. Some teachers let kids out of a class 5 minutes early so they can make it to the next class. I mean, it's already bad enough. They already have a lot of people that may not speak English as the first language there that are here legally. And then you have to deal with this. It's right there in front of you. Even the Inquirer wrote about the feeder schools a couple of weeks ago. Did people connect the dots and hear what Trump's saying? And then do they look at what Democrats say? What does Brendan Boyle say? What would he say? He's never asked. Those questions would be out of bounds. Well, this election tells us they're not out of bounds. All right, coming up, Jen Psaki and her advice to Democrats on transgender issues. Yes, the circle back lady wants to circle back. So does John Oliver, the cheery Brit. Oh, yeah, that guy. All right, but we'll get to the side question, too. Something that was a spinoff of any sort that's really bad. 855-839-1210. Let's talk about batteries plus bulbs for a moment and remind you of my friend Roy with two big stores. One store is over in Mount Laurel on Route 73. The other is on Tilton Road in Northfield. And at Batteries Plus Bulbs in both of those stores, they're looking for help. Handy do-it-yourselfer, that would be ideal. Great low-pressure part-time job. The reason is, Roy, a lot of customers, a lot of people want their services. We've opened this up. It's always been great, and now more people know about it. Could be your phone, could be something technical, could be a business thing that they work with. It's all there. Roy says all the time, they power it, they light it, and they fix it. They give tremendous customer service, but they have the know-how too. So if you're interested in that, or you have some kind of tech problem, or keep the number handy in your back pocket in case you do, give Roy and his team a call. 856-638-0778. Call them at 856-638-0778.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
My office has its ups and downs.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, one thing's for certain. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast, and you can invite your top choices to apply. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So, for any kind of office.
I'm really going places in my office.
My office has everything you could ever want.
Count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, it's Nick Hale, and we know that your online privacy is of the utmost importance in 2024, and that's why I use Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo. This 3-in-1 subscription service features DuckDuckGo VPN, personal information removal, and identity theft restoration. But I want to tell you about the VPN experience. I'm doing show prep, research, many things that can be tracked or flagged, so that's why I trust DuckDuckGo to give me a secure Wi-Fi connection. I'm reading and researching things about the federal government, Trump, free speech, and and I want to know that I'm not being tracked or traced. DuckDuckGo VPN hides my location and IP address from the websites or social media accounts that I frequent. How comforting is that? If you want the same sense of safety and security as I have, then take advantage of their free 7-day trial offer. Just visit DuckDuckGo.com/1210 today, and you'll experience what I have. After that, it's just $9.99 per month. Browser or app, mobile or desktop, up to 5 devices at once. Do it today. DuckDuckGo.com/1210.
Saving for retirement is one thing. Making your money last? For that, you may need some help. Listen to Joe Yakovich on The Heart of Your Money, Sundays at 9 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly, and it's 100% free to you if you are on Medicaid. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782 to get started today. You get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782, or go to freedomcare.com.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Pleasant conditions continue in the forecast today. We'll have a mixture of sunshine and clouds with a high temperature still well above average at 62. For tonight, becoming mostly cloudy, low 50 for the city, cooler in the suburbs, and partly to mostly cloudy on Wednesday, still mild with a high 62.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've grown by offering our clients more offices, more lawyers, and recovering more than $20 billion. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Dan, your reason for that bumper? Come back.
Get some spin-off bands coming out. This is Mike and the Mechanics, spin-off of Genesis there, Dom.
Bad, you think, huh?
No, I think they're,
well,
comparatively to the,
yeah, comparatively, they're not as good. But we've been playing some back here during the break. It's been pretty good.
Well, most of the covers we play are an example of spin-offs that are out of control. Now, Mike Johnson has just been asked, and I didn't have a chance to see his answer yet. He's been asked if the transgender representative-elect from Delaware is a man or a woman, Johnson. Here's why this is in play. Now, I don't know that this is the hill to die on or to make this point around this, but Nancy Mace is. She has a bill to say that Representative, what's the name again here? McBride, I've seen her on local TV, should not be using the women's bathroom in Congress. That only women should be doing that. Okay. Now, Johnson was hit with this, and I'll play you what Jen Psaki said. This is a good area, but again, like all areas of contention, you have to be careful here, so I'm going to be interested. I haven't heard this. Here's what Mike Johnson said. Is she a man or he, a man or a woman?
Mr. Speaker, is freshman-elect Sarah McBride a man or a woman?
Look, I'm not going to get into this. We welcome all new members with open arms who are duly elected representatives of the people. I believe it's a command that we treat all persons with dignity and respect, and we will. And I'm not going to engage in silly debates about this. There's a concern about the uses of restroom facilities and locker rooms and all that. This is an issue that Congress has never had to address before, and we're going to do that in a deliberate fashion with member consensus on it, and we will accommodate the needs of every single person. That's all I'm going to say about that. Yes,
do you plan on bringing Nancy Mace's transgender bill and putting that into the rules package?
I'm not going to address the plans on any of that. I just told you what I'm going to say about the issue. I'm not going to engage in this. We don't look down upon anyone. We treat everybody with dignity and respect. That's a principle that I've pursued my whole life, and we will take care of this, issue of first impression for Congress, as we will any other thing. We'll provide appropriate accommodation for every member of Congress.
Well, with the speaker there, I get a little bit of is Nancy Mace looking down on people here? This wouldn't be my tactic, but is that out of bounds? Ketanji Brown, the Supreme Court justice, when asked, what is a woman? That was a little different.
That's not how I read that.
Than doing it with this. Yeah, I said it was different. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I also, he's kind of responding to a reporter who's trying to corner him here, and I hope that he's trying to get some kind of hateful crap out of Mike, and Mike's just like, look, we're not going to play your game. We're not going to do that. I don't know if he was referencing Mace directly there, or if it was just directly to the reporter, like, look, we don't talk down to anybody here.
But is it talking down to say if it's a man or a woman? That's what Mace wants to know.
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
It's not the hill to die on here strategically, but I don't know that Mace is talking down here. It's not where I would go with this. Now, if Nancy Mace thinks you got a winner here because of what happened in the election, this lone person in the women's bathroom here is probably asking a lot of disclosure. Are people uncomfortable? Okay. Does Johnson mean then, and it's going to be interesting to see the Democrat response, that they'll have individual bathrooms? I don't know. They're going to be able to do that. But here's Jen Psaki, on the other hand, not getting how to play this. Here's her advice. This is cut one. Jen Psaki telling Democrats push back on the GOP premise about transgender.
But one in particular that stuck out to me is transgender rights. Republicans spent hundreds of millions of dollars on anti-trans ads this election cycle, including one that showed Vice President Harris talking about government funding for gender-reaffirming care for prisoners and detainees. If that sounds like a particularly obscure issue, it is, because it applies to a tiny group of people. And it's also a policy that, by the way, was in place during the first Trump presidency. Another one of the lines that ran over and over again in those ads and throughout right-wing media is this idea that America is faced with a crisis of boys playing in girls' sports. Now, these ads created this perception that the issues of trans kids playing sports was dominating schools across the country, which is completely false. Some people got pulled into that argument. I mean, immediately after the election, Congressman Seth Moulton told the New York Times that, quote, Democrats spend way too much time trying not to offend anyone rather than being brutally honest about the challenges many Americans face. I have 2 little girls. I don't want them getting run over on a playing field by a male or formerly male athlete. But as a Democrat, I'm supposed to be afraid to say that.
All right, Ms. Smarty Pants. Here's a tactic. It's the raditzing. That's what they're trying to do. Only a handful. Now, only people, we never said, although the count of young women, others not getting medals because of so-called transgender athletes is growing. That's a fair statement. You see what the tactic is. And again, this is blaming the voters. You got sucked in. These Republicans are making this a bigger deal than it is. No, what it is a tell. If you can't see that males who were biological at birth have an advantage over females, they shouldn't be allowed to play. I'm not making the safety argument. I'm making the argument that really always speaks to me. Competition. Unbridled competition. Shouldn't be allowed. And you're not going to flex this and say we're overdoing it. I wouldn't overdo it. I wouldn't allege, it's thousands, et cetera, but it's a growing thing that's happening, a growing debate. And I don't know about Nancy Mace making it difficult with Johnson, et cetera, here with this bathroom bill, with this woman who's transgendered. I will see every time I see McBride on local TV, though, they go out of their way to make the point about her or him, and to make the point that somehow or another everybody in the world is coming after the representative. I don't see that. But the bathroom thing, I think Johnson's thinking, oh, man, how are we going to, come up with the individual bathrooms for her? She won't go for that. Mace is not going to go for this. Others piling on. The issue that really resonates with people is the issue of having people come into female sports that should not be playing female sports. And they can say all that they want. The numbers are relatively small, always with that. It was a tell on Harris. Who in the world would say we should be paying for sex surgery for illegal aliens who are criminals in prison? Who in the world would dream of saying it's a tell about how radical they are? So I do hope they follow Jen Psaki's advice. Moulton is the one that has it right. He's saying, can't we have a conversation with this? Can't we say, hey, this isn't right. This shouldn't be happening. I don't care if it's 10, 15, 20. I'm not arguing the numbers. Shouldn't be happening. Why are Democrats dying on that hill? Because that's what's demanded of them by the base of the party, by enough people. They actually convince themselves that you're just being mean and discriminatory if you say, no, the male can't play here. All right, so we'll see what Johnson does. Dan, what you were on that, what would your solution be? He's got a hard question here. He can't have individual bathrooms, right? I don't see that. I don't know what he's going to do here.
I feel like they're going to do the mixed sex bathrooms.
Okay.
You know what they did there? They just took what they used to use as a family bathroom and transitioned it into a non-sex bathroom.
But I think McBride will still go into the women's bathroom. I don't know if they're going to make all the bathrooms unisex.
So the question becomes, though, should there be repercussions for that?
If they make them all unisex, well,
no. If she uses the women's bathroom, it's.
I would say, there ought to be a repercussion for it if there's another option that's easily available. Yeah. Oh man,
it's fascinating because all these Congress people are going to be put in very similar positions to what they're debating for the first times in their career, and they're going to have to be faced with reality. And it's going to be interesting to see where they all fall.
But notice the one who seems to be taking the heat more here is Johnson than the Democrats. That's my read. I mean, he's right to be afraid of saying anything at all here. Is it a man or a woman? That's like, how would he know that? What's that? What is going to be the metric of that?
I mean, so do you approach it just straight up then? It's a mental illness. It shouldn't be allowed?
I'm only looking at one thing here, and that's why I'm on the fly thinking about this. I'm only looking at what's the way to win on this.
Yeah.
That the American people are going to say, yeah, we're okay with this. And I'm not sure what that is. That's why I'm asking people.
I'm baffled too because I think you have to essentially, because where it comes with the trans issue for me personally is it's often like once you start infringing on my life or my children or trying to indoctrinate that's where I draw my line.
That's what Moulton is saying. Exactly.
And I think a lot of elected officials probably have a similar stance as well.
Right.
So here you have an adult though, and I think you have to, as conservatives, portray yourselves as even keeled on this issue where hey, look, you have a person who's elected that identifies this way, and that's their right to identify that way as an adult. But where we have an issue is the indoctrination of children, what we're seeing out there in schools.
Yes, and I would say that's a good line here. Now, if this woman is still biologically intact, walking around the women's locker room with women there, even with adults, that might be too much. But if it's a bathroom situation, Dan, to your point, they're adults, I think they can suck it up and deal with it. So Nancy Mace putting a bill out there is sending the wrong signal. We're winning on this. This might be a way where people go, come on, you're all elected officials here. Here we go. All right, Moulton is the one that is more on point on the Democrat. But Psaki, way out of line here. You're not going to beat us with saying it's only a handful, like Martha Raddatz, because you're not having to live this. All right, 8-5, and don't make the argument about safety first, please. Make the argument competition, unfair to young women who want to compete. They can't compete many times against us. All right, 855-839-1210. You can get in. Let's go to Mark in Glen Mills. Mark, you're on Talk Radio 1210. Hello, Mark.
Yeah, I think that the issue here is make-believe. It's make-believe. Why are we even talking about it?
Wait a minute, Mark. Wait a minute. Are you kidding me? Why are we talking about it? Because the last election, one of the major issues that was a sleeper issue was this whole deal, this whole thing.
Exactly. And as stewards of our society and morality, our Congress people should stand up. And if it's two people, one people, a small minority, a couple people, it's wrong. It's make-believe. It needs to be called out as such. And we as a society need to stop.
Okay, well, wait a minute. What's the bottom line
fantasy.
then? You're telling this woman she can't go in that bathroom. That's what you want to do.
Well, they could have a unisex bathroom that anybody can use. That's fine. But, in terms of Mike Johnson and talking this and talking that, it's ridiculous. And the fact that the word conserve means conservative, conserve, how the country was founded, common sense, man, women.
Well, wait a minute. You haven't given the common sense, though. You think you can wait a minute. You think you just waved a magic wand here, and I challenge you on this. So this person
talking about it.
Well, no, I'm not going to. Are you kidding me? The woman's not going to go into a unisex. Yeah, but the woman's not going to go into a unisex bathroom. She's going to say, I have every right to go into the female bathroom.
Well, that's the point. The fact that we haven't stood up to it and said it's fantasy, stop it, that's why it's being perpetrated on this small minority of people. But the more we let it go and the more we accommodate it, the more it's going to grow.
Okay,
it's insanity.
So
and I think your associate was right when he called it a mental illness.
It's
a growing mental illness in our society.
If this representative, though, has had surgery, what do you say then?
She's mentally ill. She probably shouldn't even be able to serve in the Congress. I think the bill that Nancy...
Thank you very much. Okay, is that a winning argument? You're hearing it from Mark, all right? It's not a winning argument. We're winning on this. In my view, it's not. You can lecture. That's not what was said in these ads. What was said in the ads was the issue of competition in young women and how radical that Kamala Harris and the Democrats were. They're spending taxpayer money on giving people surgery that were in jail and were here illegally. All right? Getting on a bother, forcing this woman around. I kind of like Dan's point more. These are adults. Is that placating? Is that surrendering to the other side? You don't have to nuke them here. All we have to do is win on this. It is about winning. Is that a winning argument, his? I'd say no. Dan, you had one more comment?
Just a couple things from Twitter, Dom. Leslie Fishapine says, just add designated transgender bathroom. Done. If the transgender individual refuses to use the designated bathroom, fine them for every time they don't use what was carved out for them and their mental illness, she writes. And then Hassan bin Sober says, Dom, Dems always go for the popular vote, so put the trans thing up for a referendum. I have enough faith that it would turn out the right way. Your thoughts on a popular vote on this situation?
We're winning on this. Why do you want to fool around with what we're winning on? We got the formula here. They're trying to find something where they can peel people off. Leslie, come on. That's exactly what this woman, this transgender woman or male wants from Delaware. They're going to say, you know what it's going to be? You're discriminating. Now, they might go too far. They might say it's like back in civil rights, blacks had to use a different bathroom. That might be a loser. We're winning on this. Think winning, not mental illness here. I don't think that's a winning ploy here. We're winning on it. American people are saying they're radical. Was Mike Johnson out of line there then? Dan didn't think so. I thought he was a little bit. I'm not going to talk down. Now he may be right in this on his feet. He's having a little trouble here thinking, how do I navigate this? You guys want to say, mental illness, get her out of here.
But I also do want to say that there's a part of me that says I think that should be part. I would argue that I think mental illness should be part of the discussion. And it's not saying that if you're trans, you're automatically mental ill. But I think there's a lot of societal illness mentally in the youth, particularly in young girls, that have been mentally brainwashed, essentially, to become transgendered. And I think that has to be talked about in an open forum.
Yeah. I think your strongest point, though, that appeals to me is they're adults here. A little bit different, unless there's blatancy. With kids, that's completely different. Somebody has a joke on the transgenderists. See, now, whoa. Okay. This is exactly, no, I'm not going to put it on. This is exactly what we don't want to do. I'm dedicated to one thing, winning. And I get the message, Dan, here. Some people think we've won on this, so we'll do whatever we want on it. I don't see it that way. You got to win. Just stick to the playbook. Here's the playbook right here. Don't go off the playbook. And I got people come. Oh, I can't rip up the commercial. That'd be just all right. Hey, one of the biggest and healthiest sales of the year is back again. Rescue Natural Supplements Black Friday sale is here. Right now, Rescue is slashing prices on every supplement with discounts up to an incredible 80% off. Rescue has a wide variety of products to address your health needs, including immunity and cholesterol support, heart health, and natural energy enhancers. Grab huge savings on omega-3s, probiotics, and so much more. And one more thing, just this Friday, Rescue Black Friday sale will run the entire month of November. So shop today at res-q.com. Now, that's res-q.com, or call a rescue product consultant, 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Again, all rescue supplements are up to 80% off during the entire month of November. So why wait? Shop massive savings on essential supplements at res-q.com. Do it today.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, the voice of the people.
First thing I want to say is a shout out to you guys. You guys are amazing.
Thank you.
You guys make my morning every morning. I voted Trump, my whole family. I obligate my whole family to vote Trump. I am so excited. Like, tears are coming out of my eyes. Like, it's a real thing. I love America. I love this country.
From South Jersey to Delco, from Bucks to Montco, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, we are the voice of the people. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
You have key decisions to make about your money. Most investors don't beat the market, and neither do the hedge funds, who take a share of your profits. What if there was another way? A way for you to keep total control over your money where the interests were aligned. That's what the exclusive crash-proof retirement system is all about.
Mike Bizaccia here from Logan Township, New Jersey. You can't follow the market because nobody can predict it. What you have today could be gone tomorrow. That's the way it works, up and down, and your money goes up and down. That's what led me to see if there was another alternative. Crash-proof retirement gave me that alternative. With crash-proof retirement, the money you make is credited to your account, and that money's yours. No ifs, ands, or buts, no worries. No fees. We had a high point of 13.5%. Once it's credited, it's your money to keep. That's a big deal.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Springfield Country Club, November 20th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. You may know me from my book, Money Hacks. You may know me from my radio shows, and you may even know me from some of these commercials. But listen, I'm teaching stuff that people need to learn about money. In fact, my favorite topic is money. So go to investorschooling.com and you will learn things about money that you never even knew existed. We will teach you things about real estate, about the stock market, and about how to use your IRAs properly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at investorschooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock market properly. That's right, you could even make money in the stock market when the stock market goes down. Hey, go to investorschooling.com and register for a free class this Thursday night, and you will learn all of these techniques. Go to investorschooling.com right now, RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, we'll continue this talk of this Nancy Mace bill. And Mike Johnson, the speaker, being asked, well, you know, is this representative? Can you assure us it isn't a man or a woman? McBride from Delaware. Mike Johnson, like, oh, my God. Why didn't we caucus this? Why didn't we come up with some better answer before we got to this? We're winning on this. How do you continue to win on it? Not give ground, but not allow the other side to say you're discriminating here. But first, we're going to talk with a reporter from 70and73.com. They have a heck of a story. Cherry Hill Schools leaks, I think it's close to 100 names of kids who the kids and the parents opted out of the sex ed. Remember Jersey sex ed? the volatility of that? Is this just an innocent mistake? How do you do something like that? Their names are out there that they opted out of this. And also, apparently, somebody in the district wanted to go to a seminar in the Virgin Islands. Wow. In the dead of winter. All right, all that and your calls. So stay right there. Hit us on this transgender thing. What should Mike Johnson do? That's coming up on Talk Radio 1210.
Nothing delivers comfort and joy quite like the unrivaled quality and taste of Omaha Steaks. This year, skip the holiday hustle and bustle and save 50% off gourmet gifts site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, get a $30 reward card when you shop early and score an extra $30 off with promo code NICK. With 5 generations of experience, they consistently deliver the world's best steak experience. And the gifting experts at Omaha Steaks have made it easy to deliver the perfect gift with thoughtfully curated gift packages starting at $89.99. From legendary steaks to mouth-watering desserts and more. Save 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners get an extra $30 off with promo code NICK and a $30 reward card when you shop early. That's 50% off at omahasteaks.com and an extra $30 off with promo code NICK. Minimum purchase may apply.
There's a reason that potato chips don't come in a clear bag.
There's only 8 chips in this bag.
That's why. It's only about 2/3 full. The rest is air. It's a lot like opening up your 401k at retirement. You get about 2/3 of it, and the rest goes to Uncle Sam. Jim Cipriotti at the Retire Ready Financial Group can help. His tax mapping process can help forecast what your tax bill will be in the future, and that way you can build a strategy now to potentially decrease your tax bill in retirement. In other words, more for you and less for Uncle Sam. Call today for your complimentary retirement tax mapping report, 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415. Or find them online at retirereadyfg.com. And get Uncle Sam's greedy hands out of your retirement.
Hey, you've had enough.
With a complimentary tax mapping report from Jim Cipriotti. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
Hey, it's Ike Reese. These days, everything in Philly costs more. But a single line at Verizon doesn't. Get one line for as low as $50 per month when you switch and bring your phone. So, while coffee is definitely costing more, here at Verizon, you can save. And dinner for 2 has gotten pricey. Verizon, less pricey. Logan Square rent, that's not coming down anytime soon. But Verizon, down. One line for just $50 a month. Limited edition sneakers through the roof. One line from Verizon through the floor. That designer golden doodle, so much more. But Verizon, a fair bit less. Even a good old tried and true hamburger will cost you more. But with Verizon, the same tried and true service is now just $50 per month for a single line on unlimited welcome. With auto pay plus taxes and fees. Point is, in a world that is always costing more, you can get more for less right now at a Philly Verizon store.
$15 promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G, 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Mystic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
Hey, teacher!
All right, welcome in. Here's one headline. There were several, but 70and73.com was the area of the publication where I found it originally. New Jersey school accidentally released names of kids who opted out of sex ed. And Dan, what is 70and73.com?
Yeah, 7073, a great source of South Jersey, ran by my father. Pulitzer finalist Neil Borowski does across NJ.com, a great newsletter, N70 and 73, and he had a great reporter, JC, who actually uncovered this by speaking with our next guest, Harvey, a ridiculous situation out in Cherry Hill. And 7073, what they cover is that hyper-local area, Marlton, Cherry Hill, all that, and they were able to uncover some ridiculous things happening in the Cherry Hill School District, Dom.
Yeah, that Virgin Islands trip, I think, has been nixed now for academic. Can you imagine that seminar? Pass the suntan lotion over here. That's what we're studying here. In the middle of winter going, oh.
Yeah. Let's go to Tom, you want to go to a convention in Aruba? I heard there's a talk radio convention. Can we proposition Greg to pay for it, maybe?
Yeah, I don't think they allow it, because of the bloviation factor of the hot air.
Oh, yeah?
There's a lot of hurricanes.
You have to do it in the Dutch language, by the way, if we go down to,
okay, of
If
course.
we go down to Aruba.
All right, Harvey Vasquez is joining us. He's a district parent, Cherry Hill, and former school board candidate. He told the department last week the district violated the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. He was told to expect a response in 3 months. He said Friday.
3 months?
What? 3 months?
What?
Wait a minute. They have to go to the Virgin Islands. This just in. Here's your response. Oh, man. Let's go to Harvey Vasquez here on Talk Radio 1210. Harvey, welcome in. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me on your show, Dom. I really do appreciate it.
So, Harvey, they say just an honest error. We could just put these out. It was all, technical and all that stuff. Isn't that enough for you? I guess they're saying.
No, it is not, because the district knew about this way back in November of last year. Okay, so the disclosure happened in September. Another parent named to be withheld had reached out to them via email stating that they have found the information of their children online. Would they correct that? And at that point, nothing was done. So as I understand, the superintendent says he was not aware until I went to the Board of Education on October 29th and spoke about this disclosure, because my son's name was also disclosed. Many of those who know me here in the township know that I've been advocating for special education services here in the Cherry Hill School District for years now, and I'm an avid advocate for special education services. So to find out that the twin of the son that I always advocate at special education, that his information had been released, it kind of, I was flabbergasted about the whole situation, because I didn't understand how, one, my son's information, but not only my son, according to the count that I had, which was later corrected by 7073, 174 students.
Wow.
Was ruled.
Yeah, and these are kids, and this is a very sensitive area, and I've heard you before, I think. I don't know if we may have spoken before. The sex ed standards in Jersey adopted in 2020. Critics says that the publication, the curriculum guide, introduced topics like masturbation, gender identity to students when they were way too young. There's a lot more in here. It's indoctrination and stuff that parents like you, me, and others may not agree with, particularly at young ages. So what are you asking for, Harvey, at this point from the school district?
Well, what I asked for was, and those of you who may, you could go to my Facebook, to the recording, but what I asked the school district was, listen, first of all, what you need to do is inform the parents of the disclosure, because a lot of parents may not know at this point that the information for their children had been released. So I asked that they inform the parents. I also asked for a public apology, which I am still waiting for, okay? And I also asked that the names of those children that were disclosed on openmachine.com be removed. As I understand, the district attorneys had done that. But the bottom line is that this information remained out there for over a year, even the district knowing that this information was out there back in November of last year.
Yeah, and do you feel that this is, just incompetency, or it's a pushback on people, not wanting to have them opt out of this curriculum?
Well, it could be both, and I could tell you because, as you know, I recently ran as a candidate for the Board of Education, which I narrowly lost by 22 votes, by the way. So
recount. Get Bob Casey over there. He's not doing it. Look, Harvey, Bob Casey on Wednesday, I'm told, we got him. He's an expert on this. We could bring him right over to Cherry Hill.
There you go. It's coming. You better believe it. But during the course of me running my campaign is how I found out about this information. There's a group called New Jersey Public Education Coalition who kind of has an ideological agenda of pushing this family life curriculum, which is sex ed, right? They started commenting on myself and other candidates who were running, stating that we were not like-minded candidates. So at that point, I'm like thinking, first of all, this is a nonpartisan race, right? So I'm trying to find out, why is this group saying this? So I researched the group, and as I'm doing my research, that's when I came across the open request. Not only did this group request this information from our school district, but they requested it from about 364 other school districts within the state.
Yeah, you're onto something there with some of these outfits that have pushed this curriculum. Maybe in the wake of the election of 2024 and Jersey went a lot more red, Harvey, maybe this sex curriculum thing is going to come up again because it was bitterly fought the last time. So, Harvey, where do people find you on Facebook if that's the best place to go?
Yeah, you can look for me on Harvey Vasquez, or you could go to my candidate page, which is Vasquez, VAZQUEZ for BOE. And again, I've had many parents already who had reached out. They are interested in a class action, so this may turn into something more.
All right, keep us in the loop on that, Harvey, please. Let Dan know and Henry know. Thank you, Harvey. Thank you very much. All right, let's go to Leslie of Bryn Mawr. We're going into the woodshed here today, Dan. Sounds like that voice is coming.
She called in today. I go, Leslie, I know exactly why you're calling. I'll put you to the top.
It was more Dan, Leslie, not me. He's the one that said adults.
I'm the one that called you
do
out,
anything
Leslie,
else. There you go. Hey, Leslie, welcome in.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Dom, think about Kensington Avenue and safe places to inject illegal drugs. Is that okay?
So, Leslie, you're already off on a non-winning foot here. I don't think, I'm just telling you this, of course not, that the American people are not going to see this thing as the same thing as, let's give them clean needles.
Well, so the point is you're aiding somebody who is ill instead of helping them.
Okay, and I would argue, even though I agree with you about the illness, I don't think that's necessarily the winning way here out of this whole thing. So what's the bottom line solution then? To do what?
The bottom line solution is it should be illegal for physicians to take perfectly healthy bodies and mutilate them.
Well, I would counter with, for kids, that's absolutely the case. Adults, though, I think it's a long range to tell them they can't engage in this.
They need mental help, not removing perfectly good body parts and becoming something that they will never, or thinking they can become something they can never be. Because as you agree in trans men being in women's sports, a man is biologically different than a woman.
Okay,
and
so what should
fact.
All right, what should the speaker do here then? What do you say?
Well, what did they do with Rachel Levine and the other wacko guy that was stealing suitcases, Sam, whatever his name was? Where did they go to the bathroom?
I think they probably went into whatever they chose, probably the women's room.
Well, I personally think, and I worked at a company many years ago where there was somebody who had decided to transition. They never named the person, but they designated a bathroom for that person.
Okay,
and there were
you might be able to do that.
Thousands of employees were
privately.
in this company. So
I don't think you're going to be able to do that with a duly elected member of Congress.
why? Why not just say, here's your bathroom. This way you're not offending the women who don't believe that you are a woman. And you're not offending the men because you still have your male parts. And even if he doesn't have his male parts, let them have their own bathroom.
All right, here is, thank you, Leslie, very much. Here's Nancy Mace. And look, Nancy Mace is an interesting back and forth here, but a lot of it is just troublesome. Here's Nancy Mace defending her bill.
This effort in response to Congresswoman McBride coming to Congress?
Yes, and absolutely, and then some. I'm not going to stand for a man, if someone with a penis is in the women's locker room, that's not okay. And I'm a victim of abuse myself. I'm a rape survivor. I have PTSD from the abuse I've suffered at the hands of a man. And I know how vulnerable women and girls are in private spaces. So I'm absolutely 100% going to stand in the way of any man who wants to be in a women's restroom, in our locker rooms, in our changing rooms. I will be there fighting you every step of the way.
All right, Dan, as I've said, she's come on before. This could be quite a
we'll get her
shootout
back.
here. Now, to her credit there, she added a little twist to this, which is, I'm a victim of abuse, et cetera, et cetera. The problem is, Dan, here, how do we delicately get to this? We don't know if this representative is still biologically a male or not. I don't think that's been disclosed. Asking that gets into, and with Leslie's, I can tell you what's going to happen. They're going to say this is just like blacks have to use this bathroom in the South. Now, that's completely outrageous, but that's where this will go. Let me go to Stephanie, though, here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Stephanie, welcome in.
Hi, Dom.
Hi.
Well, I thought that I could offer maybe a unique perspective on this because I am a mental health therapist. And so let me just say that as a rule, my entire profession is captured, which is very disturbing because as a rule, many people who are trans are struggling with managing some traumas that they haven't been able to learn to integrate or treat. So it's a great form of dissociation. The kindest thing that we can do is not to accommodate that and to not accommodate it in the most compassionate way possible. When we start accommodating this as a society, I mean, we don't say to alcoholics, oh, it hurts your feelings that we're, referring to you as alcoholics, or show up to AA meetings with kegs. And so that's kind of what we're doing when we just roll over and accommodate this. So, I live in Delaware. I most certainly did not vote for Senator McBride. I think that if I were Nancy Mace, I would love to see a little bit more of a compassionate approach to this. But when we start allowing this slippery slope where, well, it's just one.
Well, what would be compassionate, though? What should she do or say?
Well, I think that maybe the messaging around her objection to this I would craft that differently rather than sort of this, I don't know, piss and vinegar approach. I would be taking more of an approach that, we're of the position that this is something that should be worked out, with your mental health, in a mental health arena. And we as women are uncomfortable about having men in our bathrooms, which, by the way, if we're living in the age where anytime someone hurts our feelings, we can be offended, how come conservatives aren't allowed to be on the other end of that?
Okay. Do we know if McBride has disclosed? Because I'll make this point. McBride has made a big deal, the first openly the local news media here in Philadelphia goes gaga over that all the time. Has McBride disclosed whether biological male, gender-affirming care, surgery or not?
Yeah, I mean, he was all about that in this state. I mean, they were trying to champion in our state being a sanctuary state for bringing children here.
Right.
If your parent didn't accommodate, a child who wanted to transition.
But Stephanie, I'm asking, does McBride have female genitalia or male?
Oh, I'm sorry, Dom. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
And again, to me, and I'm taking this position from the mental health perspective, like the most compassionate thing that we can say to people who are struggling is no. Now, I don't know how Congress solves this. Maybe what they do is they have trans bathrooms, and that's the way they accommodate that. But I would take the approach of saying, sometimes we have to say a compassionate no.
All right,
and
I hear
this
you.
is truly a mental illness.
Thank you, Stephanie, very much. I'm giving you the downside of where that's going to go. Mike Johnson is a deep religious conservative, Dan, right? I mean, and notice he didn't say anything there. Now, that's a faux pas. They should have had this worked out about what they are going to say. Oh, boy. Here's Marjorie Taylor Greene saying that Mace's resolution doesn't go far enough.
Sarah McBride, as he calls himself, formerly Tim McBride, is a biological man, and he should not be using any of our restrooms in the capitals, in our office buildings. But Nancy Mace's resolution doesn't go far enough. A resolution is just a statement by Congress saying that Congress disagrees with something. We need something more binding, and that's what I just brought up at the microphones there in our conference, is I directly asked Speaker Johnson what the men in our leadership are going to do about this, because this has to be stopped. America gave a mandate at this election and said not only are they sick of the open borders, the invasion, the out-of-control inflation, foreign wars, but they're sick of the trans ideology being shoved down our throats, and it's an attack on women and children all over the country. I don't think Nancy Mace's resolution does enough. I think we need to do more. That's what I asked Speaker Johnson, and he committed to me in there in the conference that Sarah McBride will not be using our restrooms.
Whoa, all right. That's Mike Johnson. We don't know if that's true or not, Dan. Good snag by you. All right. Again, Dan made the point early on that I've been hinging on. These are adults here, though. This isn't kids in school. Does that make any difference? The counter by Nancy Mace, I've been a victim of abuse. This is definitely triggering. And you heard Stephanie. All right, 855-839-1210.
She does face some tough questions from reporters if you want that audio as
well.
well.
From Taylor Greene?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that coming up.
How is that?
Okay, go ahead, Dan.
I'm just wondering if...
Go ahead.
I shouldn't have to, but I shouldn't have to do that. No woman should have to. But look at what men have been doing to women. Look at all the female athletes that have had to compete against men. You know, there's a volleyball player that has brain damage today because of a biological male spiking a ball into her head. Should any woman have to endure that? So if you're going to ask stupid questions like that, don't advocate for mentally ill men pretending to be women invading our spaces. You're a woman yourself, and you shouldn't accept predators in your bathrooms.
Do you think Congresswoman McBride is mentally ill?
Yes, he's mentally ill. He's a biological man pretending to be a woman. That's a mental illness. There's something wrong with him.
Did you say that you would get into a physical altercation?
Where is that being reported?
Yeah, they keep asking if there's going to be a physical altercation. Like, why? Why do they keep... That's weird, right?
Between whom?
They keep asking Marjorie Taylor Greene if she's planning a physical altercation.
Well, she's pretty tough. Maybe that's why they're asking her, Dan.
Here's that question. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
And he committed to me in there in the conference that Sarah McBride will not be using our restrooms.
It's been reported that you said you'd get into a physical altercation with a biological male if you saw them in the bathroom. Would you get into a physical altercation with?
How is that reported? How is that reported?
How
is that reported?
It's been on social media that was.
So how is that reported?
I'm just wondering if you would get into a physical altercation with.
I shouldn't have to, but I shouldn't have to do that. No woman should have to.
All right. Give Marjorie Taylor Greene, Dan, the win there with that reporter, at least. How about you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. All right, 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is just push pound 1210. We'll see what Johnson does. More of your calls coming up. Got something on the Trump New York case that's big. Jim Worthington here at 1:30. He's getting a posse together of fellow people to go over peacefully and observe the stylings of Marseglia and Harvey de Grasse tomorrow. What are they going to say? Are you going to be there in Bucks County? 855-839-1210. You get in.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
Friday, March 21st.
That's right.
2025.
Yeah, Travis Manion Radiothon. Well, we are going to, try and exceed $100,000. Is that what we raised for you guys last year?
Yeah.
The way that you support TMF and the way that you empower us to support the veterans and the families of the fallen that we support is just incredible. So thank you so much for all you do for us.
Thanks, Josh. We love you guys.
Thanks, buddy.
So we're going to continue this into next week because we've gotten an outpouring of support. Veterans Month. So we're just going to do this for the entire month.
That's right.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Odyssey's I'm Listening is our commitment to more mental health conversations. Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses talks about using exercise to combat his anxiety issues.
The working out is key in my case, and I force myself just to do 100 push-ups. Even if you run just around your block, you build yourself a place to go.
Talk saves lives. For more mental health conversations, visit imlistening.org.
Let's talk about your mental health, free from fear or judgment. Most people experience feelings of depression, anxiety, grief, and hopelessness when dealing with stressful life events. If you need to talk, call or text 988 to connect with a trained professional who is ready to listen and provide support 24/7. The Philadelphia Crisis Line has trained counselors who get it. They understand that sometimes you need an ally, someone who will listen and get you the support and services you need. Call or text 988 because you matter.
Of course, we all need to save a little cash these days. Saving money on your utility bills is a great start. Sign up for the CNC Heating and Air Conditioning Maintenance Plan. Minimize the wear and tear of your system and lower your energy bills this winter. If your HVAC needs replacing, CNC makes budgeting for your new system a snap with 0% financing options. Schedule an estimate today with CNC Heating and Air Conditioning, your local York certified comfort experts. Start saving today. Visit cc-hvac.com.
Howard Eskin here, and get game day ready at your local PA Fine Wine and Good Spirit store with the original Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey for $3 off 750 milliliters and $2 off Jack Daniel's Fire, Honey, and Apple 750s, or a 4-pack of Jack and Coke or Jack and Coke Zero Sugar, now ready to drink in a can for $1 off. Jack Daniel's, born for the tailgate, and please drink responsibly.
Whiskey Specialty, 7% ABV, Jack Daniel's Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniel's and Old Number 7 are registered trademarks of Jack Daniel's Properties, Inc. Coca-Cola is a registered trademark of the Coca-Cola Company.
Hey, it's Nick, and let's talk about our friends at DuckDuckGo. We're all sick of Google, right? We don't trust them. They suppress search results. They spy on you. It's just terrible. That's why I'm so proud to partner with DuckDuckGo, the best search engine going, and they are local. And now they are taking your online privacy and security to the next level, which is why I have subscribed to Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo, and I want you to do the same. This 3-in-1 privacy service is going to give you a secure VPN anytime, anywhere. Secondly, they provide you identity theft restoration. I don't want anybody stealing my bank info or social security number, and neither do you. And the third leg of the hat trick is personal information removal, which will blow your mind and blow the hackers, scammers, and con artists right out of the water. Take advantage of this special offer now, exclusively for my listeners. Just go to duckduckgo.com/1210 for a free 7-day trial offer. And once you love it, and you will, it's just $9.99 a month. Do it today. Thank me later. duckduckgo.com/1210.
Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
All right, time to Giordano show. So here's how Sarah McBride is playing it in the Philadelphia Inquirer, the representative in Delaware. Every day Americans go to work with people who have life journeys different than their own. We should not be bringing up manufactured culture wars. We should be focused on bringing down the cost of housing, healthcare, and childcare. Well, Representative McBride, you're in the wrong party. Your party's the one that has skyrocketed this. What are you talking about bringing down? And when I look at what you ran on, you would spend even more. Now, Dan, it would be a challenge if Representative McBride came on, but it would be treated fairly.
You know, toss an invite.
Yeah, I'm up for it. Yeah, I think this is. I can tell by the reaction of listeners. We're hearing people say, "Well, look, if this representative went through treatments and all that, and there's no evidence of anything else there. Live and let live a little bit on this. But I kind of like Marjorie Taylor Greene's approach with that reporter. I'm just trying to say we won on this issue, but don't think it means you win in every instance on it. All right? They're the ones that were viewed as radical. How are people going to see this as far as how this representative is treated? Let's go to Bo in Levittown. We haven't spoken in a while. Hey, Bo, good afternoon. How you doing?
Dom, I'm doing great. The only thing I could say is I agree with you. I don't think we should fight this all that much and just go with the flow. And I do what I had to do living with my wife. And when my 4 daughters were home, they just told me to put down the toilet seat. That's all I have to say.
Well, wait a minute. You have wife and 4 daughters. Oh, my God. Now, it's like Roe on the other side. DJ, Luke, me, and Freddie. 4 males.
Oh, I apologize for Roe. That's tough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A lot of, yeah.
Yeah, but, putting down the toilet seat is always, it's so convenient to leave it up. Come on, you never know an emergency.
So, wait. Were you a leave the toilet seat up house because of the majority rules?
Well, I wouldn't say I was always diligent in putting it down.
What happened to happy wife, happy life?
Well, yes, I'm much better now. I'm much better.
I am. Until we got their own bathrooms, it was brutal for me.
You sound like you ought to be there with Mike. Can you imagine Mike Johnson? You can hear by his tone. What the hell are you asking?
I got to throw out there now, living with a wife. One of the worst things is the hair in the drain. I'm sure you had to put up with a lot of that, Bo, too.
Oh, that sounds sexist to me.
It was the worst.
Come on. Very sexist.
Oh, and they're little too, and they're flushing stuff down the toilet, and you have to take the whole toilet off.
So, Bo, give us your bad spinoff.
Oh, I can't believe nobody said this yet, but Joni loves Chachi.
Pretty good. Okay. Yeah, Happy Days, all-timer, but Joni loves Chachi. How many years on? Not good. All right. Thank you. Thanks, Bo. All right. 855-839-1210. We are inundated. This is a great, we'll get Nancy Mace on, maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene. What's the right way to go with this? I just think Marjorie Taylor Greene is making a point. Well, we won on this. I don't know if you won on this particular situation, okay? It's a winner, and I know the parameters of where it was a winner. They look radical. They looked as if they were against females having to compete against males. Jim Worthington of the NAC, our host, 6 days away for the big event, noon to 3. You got to be there as we celebrate and look forward with 4 of the giants who won Pennsylvania for President Trump. In addition to Trump, we'll give him credit. All right, 855-839-12. Who knows? He might call Jim during that, Dan. Could happen. All right, he's going to be at the meeting tomorrow, too. We'll get to him. The NBA is back. FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook, wants you to catch all the action. Right now, FanDuel is giving everyone 3 months of NBA League Pass. All you have to do is catch every tip-off and buzzer beater, place any $5 bet on the NBA, get 3 months of NBA League Pass courtesy of FanDuel. Just visit FanDuel.com/Dom, D-O-M, to make every moment more this season. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT, and it's also the official sportsbook partner of the NBA. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. Just 3 month after 3 month free trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. Cancel anytime, no refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit 1 pass per customer. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
My office has its ups and downs.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, one thing's for certain. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast, and you can invite your top choices to apply. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So, for any kind of office.
I'm really going places in my office.
My office has everything you could ever want.
Count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Parks Casino. Joe Conklin hosts national comedians every other Thursday. It's Joe Conklin's Comedy Night at Parks. Show dates and tickets. Go to joeconklin.com. JoeConklin.com!
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
This school year, get your child or grandchild the help they need to succeed. Special tutoring and custom instruction is available from METC, the Motivational Educational Tutoring Company. Now's the time to call Kathy Ganna and help your child have an outstanding year. Call the Motivational Educational Tutoring Company. For over 30 years, METC's tutoring studio, founded by educator Kathy Ganna, has helped people of all ages grow personally and academically. Call Kathy today at 215-493-4200. METC offers motivational SAT prep as well as academic skills and leadership training. Call 215-493-4200. Visit online at metc.com. Call METC's tutoring studio today at 215-493-4200 or email Kathy directly at info@metc.com. Remember, 1210 listeners receive a free 1-hour consultation. Take advantage of this opportunity to help your child get one-on-one help. Call 215-493-4200. That's 215-493-4200.
Well, the cold weather has arrived. But what kind of cold? There's the, yeah, you might take a jacket cold. Then there's the, I can't feel my hands. Those are my hands. Well, I can't feel those either. Cold. And you do not want to be saying that inside your home. Hutchinson Heating and Cooling will not stand for that nonsense. Our experts can have you relaxing as soon as the next day. And if it's a new HVAC system you need, Hutchinson will install a new one with no payments and 0% interest until 2025. Schedule a visit today at hutchcomfort.com.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Pleasant conditions continue in the forecast today. We'll have a mixture of sunshine and clouds with a high temperature still well above average at 62. For tonight, becoming mostly cloudy, low 50 for the city, cooler in the suburbs, and partly to mostly cloudy on Wednesday, still mild with a high 62.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
There are 4 faces on Mount Rushmore, carved in a mountain of stone.
This is Dom Giordano. Join me as I drop the curtain and celebrate my Mount Rushmore of the most impactful rock stars this election that helped flip Pennsylvania for Trump. Scott Presler, Sean Parnell, Linda Kearns, Jim Worthington, and more. Live at the Newtown Athletic Center on November 25th from noon to 3. Join me, and don't forget those chisels. Yeah, we'll be unveiling that, a sculpture right there at Jim's place. Jim Worthington with us, one of the big 4 that you'll meet. Remember, noon to 3. Come out anytime during that. Presler, Worthington, Linda Kearns, you'll have a chance to chat with them, to see the show, to be part of it. Let's go to Jim Worthington. Hey, Jim, thanks for joining us. And we have another foray in Bucks County tomorrow, right?
Yeah, the fun never ends in Bucks County, Dom. Yep.
You know
so
what's strange about
news.
It's the county. I don't care when all this voting is done that Trump won. You were one of the people that really put him over the top. In fact, my son the other day pointed out and said as they were driving on Street Road, that's the McDonald's where Trump was. Jim, you're going to have that for 20 years. People will still be pointing at that McDonald's over there.
Yeah, and hopefully for 20 years that business owner will generate a lot of business from that event, I hope. I pray.
So, Jim, you and Linda Mitchell, your organizer, are organizing people to go tomorrow to the Bucks County Commissioners meeting. They ought to meet, don't you think, at 6 o'clock at night to give people a shot. It's 10:30 over in Doylestown. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's their regularly scheduled meeting, but it's a little bit. I mean, I can't tell you how many people want to go. They can't because they're working and they have other obligations. But I can tell you, there's a number of people organizing people to go. We're one of them, but I bet there's 4 or 5 other groups out there, from the GOP to Right for Bucks. All kinds of people are planning. They're fired up and want to get there. I don't know how they're going to accommodate everybody, to be quite frank with you. But you know what? A show of participation will be good. I think, I would advise this meeting starts at 10:30 tomorrow. If you're going to go, I'd get there by like 9:45. There is going to be a press conference outside the courthouse at 9:30. I think Pat Poprik, the head of the GOP, and some other people are hosting that. I do know Scott Pressler is going to show up, so that's good. He brings a lot of oomph with him. And, it's a time for the people's voices to be heard. I mean, this is ridiculous what she said. I mean, imagine saying that, precedent by a court doesn't matter anymore in this country and people violate laws anytime they want. And for her to just say that, I mean, and real quick, Dom, I mean, it's one thing to be an activist. When you're going to be an activist and you decide you're going to sit in the middle of the road and block traffic, that's fine. But then you're going to get arrested. You're going to get fined.
Exactly.
Well, if she wants to take that stand, well, then suffer the consequences of your actions. I mean, I'm all for activism, but don't try to talk your way out of it. You've kind of impacted this election, spent a lot of money by the county. Now you need to pay the price, whatever that is.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Martin Luther King knew exactly what was going to happen, and he was going to jail under the most repressive conditions imaginable. He didn't think, I'll violate the law, sit-ins, whatever they might be, Jim. Yes, when you do that, okay, you may be moral on that, but you're still against the law, and there's a consequence for that. So that's one, Jim. And the other is next Monday. Where else? All roads lead to the NAC in Bucks County. We'll be coming there noon to 3. Our listeners are very fired up, and you're always a gracious host. You have a real nice site, and the woman that is your point person has been wonderful.
Yeah, Taylor Antolino Kelly. She's actually the same person that set up the McDonald's event with the Trump team. So she's excellent at this stuff, and I got to tell you, I'm very excited to have you, Dom, and have all the folks that listen to you to come here. We can handle as many that want to show up. It's 12 to 3. No charge to come. We're going to have food, beverage, all kinds of stuff. And it will be a great pre-Thanksgiving celebration of our victory of President Trump in Pennsylvania. And, of course, all roads to the White House led through Pennsylvania. So we are really excited. I'm blessed that you decided to do this year. I couldn't be happier.
It couldn't be more of a natural place. And it's exactly as you said, Jim. You, Linda Kearns, and Pressler, and a couple of others that we're going to honor. You have a couple of your people, too, that execute the kind of things you're involved in. And this is a way to celebrate that, but also to look forward, because Jim Worthington's not done with this. You're kind of the ambassador moving forward. Pressler's on to New Jersey in addition to everything else. There's huge forward movement of the Trump movement here.
Yeah, there's no question. We didn't let any grass grow on our feet. We got started a day after, and we're going to announce officially, but I guess I'm doing it now maybe. We're Linda Mitchell, who is my director of advocacy. We are launching an organization called Bucks County Votes, which is basically she's going to be the director of it. It's a paid position. She's going to work on doing nothing but vote by mail, voter registration, getting involved in these county races. Truth be told, I do feel bad. The last 8 years, we've spent all our time, Linda and I, on the federal races, the presidential, the Senate races, the governor's races, and have kind of left the community we live in just go. And now we're seeing the results of that with somebody like Diane Marseglia and Bob Harvey with their actions. And it's time for us to rejoin and get re-involved in our community, and just have our representatives, basically represent the people of Bucks County. And I don't care if they're a Democrat, Republican, Independent. They need to do the things that are right for this community, which is worry about the roads, the parks, keeping the taxes decent, having the municipal services. They're getting into things they shouldn't do, talking about banning fracking and abortion. These aren't things that, crazy stuff. The county commissioners have no say in or shouldn't have any say in on a local level, and they hold that against the people, the voters, and they literally use that as a platform to, promote these things. So we're going to get reengaged in this county, and we're going to do it in a big, big, big way. I can tell you that.
Thanks for announcing that. On Monday, when we're together more extended, we'll tease that out. That's exactly right. You can win the presidency. That's great. But in your own hometown, county, et cetera, even school board, there's still a lot of control. So, Jim, we'll see you noon to 3 Monday, November 25th at the NAC on Pheasant Road in Newtown.
Yes, sir, Don. Thank you. I appreciate having me on.
Thank you, Jim. All right, another big announcement right there. So I have to check. Pat Poprik will tell us, the head of Republicans wanted to come on in Bucks County, so we'll talk with her next. And your calls, let's talk about Diane Giordano for a moment, though. If you're in Philadelphia, New Jersey even, suburbs, it's that time of year again. Diane Giordano with us, team leader at Giordano Realtors. Time for your free Thanksgiving apple or pumpkin pie. Just come out to the Abington Firehouse November 26th for Diane's Community Thanksgiving Pie Open House. Pick up your pie just in time for the holiday. Plus, Diane will be there signing copies of her latest book, Model Home Mindset, where she shares the winning strategies she uses to help home sellers like you get top dollar for their homes. She'll cover everything from expert negotiation to smart marketing and strategic planning, plus some must-know insights on the 2025 market forecast for prices, mortgage rates, and inventory. So make sure to reserve your pie today. You can get apple or pumpkin, enjoy lunch, desserts, and grab a signed copy of Model Home Mindset. Go to getfreepie.com. That's getfreepie.com, or give them a call to register now. 215-576-8666.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
Jim Cipriotti at Retire Ready Financial Group doesn't need Google to know you're worried about retirement. Between inflation, rising taxes, and the uncertainty about Social Security, he understands. That's why he offers a complimentary retirement second opinion. It's a no-obligation meeting for you to talk about your concerns about retirement. You want to know if you're going to be okay? Let's find out. 610-894-7415 or go online, retirereadyfg.com.
Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, NPN number 2083768.
Wawa's hot turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets because hot turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
All Dom Giordano listeners, follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, big issues, big guests. Tomorrow, Jim Worthington said there might be a news conference even before the commissioners thing. We'll ask Pat Poprik, the head of Republicans, the Republican Party in Bucks County, where all roads lead, about that. She's next on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Pat, welcome back, and thanks for joining us.
Certainly, Dom. Glad to be with you.
So Jim Worthington just said you're probably going to do a news conference there tomorrow before the meeting. What are you going to be talking about?
This very issue that's just captivated everyone's attention, the fact that our commissioners, 2 of them, thought that they could ignore the law, set their own, and not count ballots, whatever. In this case, they were going to allow them when the law said you can't, and that's wrong. That's what the press conference is tomorrow, yes.
So when are they up for re-election, Pat? It's a while, right?
Unfortunately, it's 3 more years, yes, 2027.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, what are other avenues? Now, listeners want some kind of judgment here. This obviously, to a lot of us, was election interference, and they still don't seem to have gotten the message. They just say it was all a mistake. What about impeachment?
Well, that's something that I actually, someone mentioned that to me also, and we'd have to look further to see how something like that would take place. But I'm not aware of any law because, as I was told, that what they did was within what they saw as their right as the Board of Election and blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to be looking at a lot of stuff after this. Right now, Dom, we're so glad that the first part got taken care of. You know, you don't have to like a law, but you darn well have to follow it. And I think substituting her own opinion and her feeling about the law over the Supreme Court ruling is such an injustice to everyone. That's not her job.
Right.
Her job is to be the executive branch. She's not the legislative branch of this government.
Well, that's where the illegality comes in. I'm only a law school dropout, but Pat, saying that you don't think the law is applicable to this or something like this, but she essentially said she was going to make a point here for the courts to have to take this up. That to me is much different. That's acknowledging you get this and you are just defiantly going to go forward with this.
Oh, believe me, Dom, this will be looked at from every which way. Right now, this was such a political partisan act. It's just so grievous to me. And I'm a politician person. I get it. But there's certain things that you don't do. And then when the law rules, you follow it. And she chose to do exactly, both of them, Harvey voted the same way, to do exactly the opposite. And to your point, she said she knew.
Yes,
she said, if I violate it, I want the courts to pay attention. Well, she's getting attention, isn't she? A lot of negative attention for this county.
What is take us inside the motivation, because Trump won, at least if they don't get their way here, by about 1,200 votes. So this is obviously at least purple leaning red at this point in time, and you work very hard and others to make it that way. This is something you would do in Montgomery County or Philadelphia, not Bucks County.
Well, they shouldn't have.
Right.
Because you're right. There are so many people that are so upset about this. My phone's blowing up. Our people are calling. They're coming in. They're asking for McCormick signs. They're so offended that I'm not kidding you. I had a lady today. She wants to put it on her lawn. I mean, people are so offended that this is such an attempt to change the way people voted. As I said, if you don't like the law, then get people to get it to change it legislatively. You don't get to do it as the Board of Elections. The Supreme's ruled. You've got to follow it, whether you like it or you don't. You know, they talk about the rule of law all the time, the Democrats. Oh, the rule of law. What about the rule of law here, Diane and Bob?
Yeah, democracy doesn't die in the darkness. It dies there in Bucks County at a 10:30 a.m. meeting. Pat, hope you'll tell people, too, and stop over yourself. Pop in. We're going to be at the NAC, hopefully celebrating by Monday. The recount has to be done by Wednesday. Is that right or no?
The 26th. The 26th.
Oh, the 26th.
Tuesday, the 26th.
Tuesday the 26th.
That's the date I was told, yes.
Oh, boy.
They have 1 week. They have 1 week to do it.
All right, so we'll be on the cusp of that, but we'll know more of the numbers by Monday. So 9:30 tomorrow, You'll be there. Where is the location for this meeting, Pat?
It's outside of the old administration building. That's where the commissioners meet. It's where we were lined up for the votes when they wouldn't let us vote. Remember that, too?
Yes,
Little action when they cut us off from voting?
Yes.
Well, we're going to be in the same area where we were lined up to show them that we were going to vote, whether they think they can stop us, and they didn't. So we're going to be in that courtyard right outside. It's on Main Street, I believe. I think it's Main.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's Main.
What's the
It's
accommodation
it's the main entrance.
of the meeting room? How much
No,
can
it's Court.
accommodate?
It's Court Street. Hold on. It's Court Street.
Court
It's Court
Street, yeah.
Just
The
so you
meeting
know.
room, how many can accommodate?
I don't know. It's a very big room. It
Okay,
can hold a
good. They're going to
number.
need a
It's-
big
they do
boat
the
tomorrow.
auditorium.
Yes, get the Titanic over there. Yeah.
They're going to be there, and we're going to be there before the meeting. We're going to be having our press conference outside, and then we'll all go inside and let them. I think they're going to hear from people that this is not something that any of us. And then forget your party on this, Don. I mean, seriously, Dom. When you have a law, it applies to everyone.
Exactly right.
Not just those selectively. Like in this case, they were trying to help Senator Casey, I'm sure, and I think it backfired in every which way because people are not happy with our commissioners ignoring the Supreme Court.
Give them hell tomorrow, Pat. I'm sure you will.
I think I might.
Thank you, Pat. Thanks for
All
popping
right, take
in.
care, Dom.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right, tomorrow, the news conference. You heard that part, too. Could there be 1,000 people there tomorrow? Well, Scott Prezer alone walking into the crowds there, and the organizers, Worthington, and that
it's going to be a fascinating
Bucks
day.
County right
Yeah.
group there. They'll be there. Oh, my God. Even though it's 10:30 in the morning. My God. What will Marseglia say in her stooge, Bob
and
Harvey?
people violate laws anytime they want. So for me, if I violate this law, it's because I want a court to pay attention to it.
All right, the guy who was paying attention, our buddy who is one of the top Republican or the top federal case lawyers in the entire country, hooked into the America First group, Stephen Miller, and that, Wally Zimolong. He's going to take you inside a bit here of what happens next and what happened here. Apparently, Luzerne County, Michael Watley said today, they're still not listening. I don't know that Philadelphia is listening per se. The Mr. Softy guy, the ice cream's gone mushy, but he's not listening. All right, maybe he'll come on and tell us why. But we'll talk to Wally Zimolong and Dom's Money Melody. I'm coming to you on the very bad spinoffs on a very busy day on Talk Radio 1210.
The most important part of your financial future is the firm you choose. You see, all financial firms are not the same. Traditional firms that sell securities can't guarantee income and are vulnerable to bankruptcies, market losses, capital gains taxes, and ongoing fees. But the exclusive crash-proof retirement system continues to protect over 5,000 clients from market losses and bankruptcies and provides guaranteed tax-favored income with the potential for double-digit interest returns with no fees whatsoever. Our one-of-a-kind proprietary system continues to protect billions of dollars in assets. Are you in or near retirement? There's only one crash-proof retirement for the American retiree. Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Springfield Country Club, November 20th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Prescription products require completion of an online consultation with an independent healthcare provider and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for more details and safety information.
Did you know millions of people are getting prescription medications for weight loss, sexual health, better sleep, and more, all online? RexMD.com has made getting these medications fast and easy, with free delivery of the most popular medications right to your door. Just fill out a brief survey, and if appropriate, we'll prescribe and ship clinically proven options to help with issues like weight loss.
I've lost 45 pounds so far. It's nice to get back into clothes that I haven't been able to wear for a long time.
We can also help with insomnia.
I slept through the whole night. It made me feel very well rested and ready to go for the day.
And RexMD can improve your sexual health.
I felt like a young man again. My wife is happier. I am definitely much happier.
At RexMD.com, we've made the process fast, easy, and affordable. Visit RexMD.com right now to get started. That's REXMD.com.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly, and it's 100% free to you if you are on Medicaid. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782 to get started today. You get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782, or go to freedomcare.com.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out. I'm so stressed from shopping, I couldn't find anything.
Have you tried shopping jewelry television, JTV?
I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different.
JTV has thousands of jewelry styles, artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax?
Yes. Another round?
Yes.
California Psychics is the real deal. They helped me out, totally changed my attitude, totally got me psyched to start my business and to take a new path in my life.
At California Psychics, we only connect our customers with the best. We reject 98% of the psychics who apply to us, so we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, should be an unbelievable day tomorrow over there in Bucks County. Full coverage on the show after all those things happen. Hope that you're gone over. Wally Zimolong is the big-time federal attorney for years, has been a friend and someone that has won case after case. He is the one that is intimately involved in this whole thing with what's going on in Bucks County, what's going on apparently still in Luzerne County about counting these ballots. And it's been explicit. I'm going to ask him a question to the mindset of these people other than outright defiance, and we'll get away with it. What legal arguments are they making, and how are they setting up the groundwork for 2026? You've heard the name Mark Elias. A couple people inside on this think he ought to have to answer questions for his law license, given what he's been doing. Let's go to Wally Zimolong, and we'll take your calls right after that. Hey, Wally, good afternoon. Thanks very much for joining us.
Hey, Dom. Thanks for having me on.
So when you hear Mark Elias, I know it doesn't spread a chill with you, but as soon as you hear that, this is the best the Democrats have, meaning the worst as far as defiance and just trying to uproot the system completely. Some would say steal elections. Have you been jousting with Elias?
You could say we've been jousting with them. I don't think we're very concerned about Mark Elias. You know, RNC Chairman Watley assembled a team of lawyers as part of his election integrity priority. And it's frankly the best team of lawyers I've ever worked with in my 20-plus career as a lawyer. We've worked night and day, 24 hours a day since before the election. Dom, as you know, we were filing cases before the election began up in Bucks County. And trust me, we're tired, but we haven't rested. And the record of success speaks for itself. I think it's a stark contrast to 2020 when I feel like we're a band of guerrillas. And in 2024, we're like the third infantry division. And so I'll put up our team, our Republican team of lawyers against Mark Elias's team of lawyers any day of the week, and I think we beat them every time.
What are they trying to do here? It's not just about Casey, right? They can't possibly think that Casey's going to win. The math is not there. Is it to try to set the groundwork for 2026? Is it the fundraise? Is it just chaos and see what happens? What are they trying to do?
I think it's a little bit of everything. I mean, let's make clear, Dom, that Senator-elect McCormick has an insurmountable lead, and that no chicanery by Mark Elias or any other lawyer is going to change that. And they're frankly advocating for chaos and lawlessness. We saw some of that with the Bucks County Board of Elections last week, which was a result of some work I did there. And but so I don't see how, unless the courts suddenly decide to start including in the vote total clearly and palpably illegal votes, how the insurmountable lead can be chasmed. So I think a lot of it is laying the groundwork for future elections. We see that our elections are close, and right. I think what the public is seeing is that these provisional ballots do matter, these mail ballots do matter, election laws do matter, and election integrity matters. And that's why the RNC, that's why Chairman Watley made it a priority. And frankly, that's why Senator-elect McCormick made it a priority. When this race appeared to be close, Senator-elect McCormick said he wanted the best team of lawyers available, and luckily Chairman Watley and the whole RNC election integrity team was already in place to answer that call.
Yeah, exactly. Wally, let me take you to now, though. To the best of your knowledge, all these counties, have they said they're going to comply? I'm thinking Philadelphia, because Dealey, the head there, is given all kinds of signals. Watley said Luzerne, he believed, was not complying. Then, of course, there's the guy over in Montgomery County. Are they, at this point now, complying to what the Supreme Court has said for the third time?
As far as I know, they are.
Okay.
At least the counties that I've been operating in. This morning, we got a consent order issued by the Bucks County Court of Common Pleas that reduced in writing to an enforceable court order that the Bucks County Board of Elections will, in fact, comply. I've received somewhat of an indication from the Montgomery County Board of Elections that they intend to comply, but they've been sort of non-committal in their approach, which is extremely concerning. Concerning. I'm shocked to hear about. Well, I shouldn't be shocked, but I'm surprised to hear about Luzerne, given my history up there and given the federal litigation that we resolved shortly before this upcoming election, which we were told by the officials in Luzerne County was going to be abided by, and this election was going to be different than previous misadministration of elections in Luzerne County in the past. That's proving not to be the case for a number of different reasons. And, I hope these counties get in compliance because there could be serious consequences for those that don't.
All right. Wally, one other area, if you don't mind, too, at least in a broad sense, because you're our legal go-to guy. The district attorney in New York today has agreed not to drop the case against President Trump, the case that the lawfare that went on, but to delay it. We don't have from the judge or the DA there, to my knowledge, how long they would delay it. What's that about? And put your legal hat on and something like that. What are they trying to do here, do you think?
Well, it sounds like he's trying to split the baby. The presidential immunity argument, they'll probably say, only lasts for so long as President Trump is in office. And if we somehow can stay the case or delay the case, we can resume the case the minute President Trump leaves office in 2028 because he's only eligible for one term under the United States Constitution. So that could be part of it. As soon as President Trump takes office, there's nothing that can be done. No one disputes that he enjoys broad presidential immunity for prosecution while in office. So perhaps they're trying to buy time to figure out a way to keep the case alive until after he leaves office.
Wow,
that would be my guess. I haven't. Yeah, they haven't learned anything. They haven't learned anything from this election. And I think it actually you started off the conversation, Don, with what their mindset is. I mean, I think I don't think there's a difference in the mindset between the DA in New York and the commissioners. For example, out in Bucks County, and they just don't believe the law applies to them. They'll do anything to benefit their cause or benefit their candidate. And then that sort of argument runs out after a while, and we're seeing the absurdity on display in this election up in the courthouses up in New York and playing out throughout the country.
Wally, thank you so much. Thanks for the great work to continue here, and you're exactly right. This has been a masterpiece, how much Republicans differently than 2020, and you're the centerpiece of this. So, Wally, thank you. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks so much. Take care.
Wally Zimolong there on Talk Radio 1210. All right, today's side question. We've been so busy. Let's take a few on this. Today's the day that the film One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest debuted in 1975. Great, better than the book, I think. But we're looking for a spinoff of a product, a service, anything really, or a film, TV, a spinoff that was bad. Let's try Joe in Exton on Talk Radio 1210. All right, Joe, welcome in.
Yes, hello, Don.
Hi, Joe.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My example of an outlandish spinoff is the person that former Governor Wolf promoted to the rank of admiral. Rachel Levine is a pitiful example of an authentic biological woman.
All right, thank you, Joe, very much. He's on fire this week.
Okay.
In the middle of all this Nancy Mace and the other stuff we've gone with here has been nuts here. Oh, my God. All day long. Yeah, Rachel Levine out of what's happened with Rachel Levine? Well, Democrats were in charge, so there's nothing there. Let's try the Earl of Tacony on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Earl. Afternoon.
Hey, afternoon, Dom. So let me go back to my old school form and give you a story. In 2000, Heinz Ketchup decided children aren't eating enough ketchup, so they came up with the Easy Squirt bottle. Well, kids aren't going to go for a bottle. How can we make the bottle interesting? Well, the movie Shrek came out. So Heinz decided to go with blasting green ketchup in order to get the kids interested.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm not done yet. Sales were good, and the kids really enjoyed the blasting green ketchup. So they decided, well, if this works, how can we improve sales even more? So in 2002, they finally decided to come up with Funky Purple, Stellar Blue, Passion Pink, Awesome Orange, and Totally Teal colored ketchup, which, needless to say, nobody found appealing.
Exactly right. Yeah. Great one, Earl. That is a spinoff of a spinoff that's involved there.
I used to love that stuff.
Okay.
Explains a lot.
Yeah.
Especially now with RFK and the dyes.
My parents stopped buying it after a while because they were like, it's unappetizing. I'm like, I don't care. I'm 4.
All right. So it's 855-839-1210. You get in.
Pretty much.
We're working on this whole thing with Speaker Johnson and the bathrooms today. But the Trump thing is broken earlier. You heard Wally Zimolong. The idea being they're delaying this how long? Till after. They're delaying it, the hope that it goes away, that it can't be useful. Because on appeal, the Trump people are going to continue with the appeal. I think the appeal will beat it. So the delay will be immaterial, and he's going to win on appeal. The immunity part of this, the whole thing is tainted because there's clear immunity on several parts of what Trump was discussing around those counts. And that's enough to demand a retrial. They're not going to do that. They don't want to do that at this point. But it's a big moment to take away. It looks like the world is coming to Trump. Joe and Mika, any number of other people saying, well, maybe it's time to at least talk with him. We've been wrong before. All that stuff is going on right now. And then the Trump dance in sports, it could be just a silly phenomena for a while, but it's reached soccer. A women's LPGA player, Charlie Hull, I saw the other day, did it just after she didn't even win the tournament. It wasn't even that. It's going to be constant. So this is just another sign of that. Joe in Columbus, New Jersey's next on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Joe. Good afternoon.
Hey, Don. With all the comedy cult favorites out there that we probably would all agree on in the top 10, the Vacations, the Airplanes, I think the lamest job ever done was Caddyshack 2. They only had one returning member of the cast, and that was Chevy Chase. That was so hard to watch.
That's a good thing. I mean, you got to bring some people back if you're doing the part 2. You can't
Well,
just,
Ted Knight, yeah, and Ted Knight may have passed away by then, but my God, you need Bill Murray in there for God's sake.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the groundhog or gopher, whatever it was. We had a groundhog.
And Dom,
yes.
You got to bring back Lacey Underall.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Joe. All right. Good shot at that. One more. Robert in Ben Salem, Talk Radio 1210. Afternoon, Robert. Welcome.
Hey, Dom, Dan, it's good to talk to you guys again today. Dom, I think that the last 2 days you've been on a good theme as far as how we deal with the opposition when it comes to the crazy things that they're doing. We waited 50 years to overturn Roe v. Wade. We got Trump through a terrible persecution with our votes because we do things the right way, okay? We don't go out and burn the country down because things aren't going our way. And when it comes to this trans stuff, I'm completely on the same page as Mark, but he's got to look at the big picture. He's got to think about winning. And this issue plays well for us as long as the Democrats are dumb enough to keep it alive. When your enemy is digging a hole, you hand them a shovel.
Exactly. So you go crazy over this bathroom thing. I'm not sure how that goes, Robert. I really am not sure how it plays out.
Well, I'm looking at it strictly from the women who use that, the real women who use that have every right to a safe place, okay? Why a man would want to invade that is beyond me anyway, but they're in the right. But you're right in that we can't come around with a sledgehammer. Now is not the time for that.
But to your point,
have to.
The smart thing is, even Marjorie Taylor Greene put that reporter in the place that we played. Let the women lead on this. That's the safest way to go with this whole thing. The men got to stay out of it. There's no wild comments by the men.
I mildly disagree with you. We got to back the women's play, Dom.
Oh, just say that, but don't say that. Don't say that. Let them carry a mace. I was abused. The whole thing. Let them carry the ball and say we support them. Look at this.
Yep, help the women carry the fight. That's exactly the way it should be done. But I'll get to my answer. There were 3 spinoffs to MASH, and one of them was pretty successful. Trapper John M.D. One of them didn't do well because the show had lost its appeal. The Aftermath show that went for like a year and a half. But there was a third one that I wasn't even aware of. It was called Walter. You know how MASH had the asterisk between each letter?
Yes.
Okay, well, Walter was the same way, and it was about Raider O'Reilly after the war, and I think it went 2 episodes. I don't even remember hearing about it at the time, so I'll go with that. But great conversation, Tom.
That's
great. You guys have a great day, all right?
You dug that one out. That sounds pretty good to me. I mean, can something only be 2 I wonder if there's anything so bad it was on an episode. I don't think so. It's usually 13, but I don't know what there may have been something. Get out of here. It's that bad. All right. Right now, though, Dan's got something cooked up. It is time for...
It's Dom's Money Melody.
All right. Really good prize, too. You'll win today a pair of tickets to see the Big 5 Classic at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia on Saturday, December 7th. Each of the city's Division I basketball teams battle for bragging rights in a one-day triple header where one school will be crowned champion. Tickets are on sale at big5classic.com.
Dom, today we're talking bad spinoffs. Well, I thought I'd take a good spinoff, arguably the best spinoff in music from the past 30-plus years. A band huge in the 90s, spun off into one in the 2000s. And here's the lead singer now covering the Bee Gees. Well, it's the entire band covering the Bee Gees, and a very surprising cover, Dom. We want to know this really popular rock band that was spun off from another rock band. I don't want to give more details because that alone is enough, I think. Covering here the Bee Gees under the name The DGs, which is also a clue in itself. Take a listen. Both me and Henry were shocked to see that this guy was singing this high pitch. Yeah. It's very good stuff. So, Dom, we're looking for this band that's a spinoff from a huge 90s band that became a huge band for the past 30 years. Who is this band here covering the Bee Gees?
All right, hit us with that, and you are off to this Big 6 Classic. 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. Let's talk about Captain Chucky's, though, for a moment. Thanksgiving is next week. Wow, let me remind you how much Captain Chucky's has to offer for your holiday table. Whether you're hosting or going to gatherings, either one. Remember, you can stock up at Captain Chucky's. We all know it's known for their fantastic crab cakes, the wild-caught Gulf shrimp and soups, of course. Well, now Captain Chucky's is teaming up with some well-known family-owned businesses to offer some other great products. Captain Chucky's and Marciano's Bakery of Philadelphia have now launched their newest invention, the Bang Bang Crab Cake and Cheese Specialty Bread, available exclusively for now at most Captain Chucky's locations. Captain Chucky's also has a Taste of Philly section in most stores that carry the following family-owned items. Holidays, the Stocks Pound Cakes. There's a Marciano's Specialty Breads. Pierogies from the Pierogies Kitchen of Roxborough. Chef Matt's Key Lime Pies. Derby's Philly Famous Clams Casino, and also Vera Pasta Company of Westchester, which produces Captain Chucky's own line of pasta, including their 3 different raviolis, their own lobster, and the banging crab. And finally, their shrimp scampi ravioli. And they also own the jarred blush sauce. So check out their website. You'll see all these delicacies now at Captain Chucky's, local Captain Chucky's for availability. With the holidays fast approaching, never a better time to check out all these and more of these fantastic items for your holiday table. And don't forget, you got to have this for the holidays, my delicious Dom Rolls. Visit today. There's a location near you. Just go to the one site. You'll see all this. WeLoveCrabCakes.com. Find your nearest Captain Chucky's, WeLoveCrabCakes.com. If you're headed to the shore, don't forget, Captain Chucky's at theshore.com.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
Upgrade your bathroom with Emmons Remodeling.
We offer custom design, build, renovation services to fit your style and budget. Our designers work closely with you to create the perfect space for you and your family.
Experience luxury and functionality with the expert team at Emmons.
So call us at 856-885-6677. Again, that's 856-885-6677, or visit us at callemmons.com. From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
And so many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. And each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Got a shopping list a mile long but need to charge your EV? No problem. Now you can fill up your cart and your battery at the same time. With a convenient network of Shell recharge stations at some of your favorite shopping spots, you can get everything done in one trip. Shop for groceries, clothes, and more while your EV charges up. And never miss a beat. Shell Recharge. Download the Shell app today to find the nearest Shell Recharge location. For more information on locations and how Shell measures reliability, visit shell.us/shellrecharge.
Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
It's Dom Money Melody.
Where's all the money gone?
Show me the money. All right, we're looking for the band today. You talk about spin-offs of spin-offs here. Let's hear the clue.
Dom, this is one of the best spin-offs, actually the best spin-off in rock music of the past 30-plus years. A band that was huge in the 90s was spun off into a band that became one of the biggest of the 2000s and, up to this day, winning multiple Grammy Awards, becoming the most successful, or one of the most successful rock bands in Grammy history.
All right, let's go to Anne-Marie in Drexel Hill. Anne-Marie, name that band.
Hi there. That would be the Foo Fighters with Dave Grohl.
Very nice, Anne Marie. I'll put you on hold. I thought that was going to be difficult, given only a few people took a shot. You're the winner, and you're off to the Big Five Division I basketball triple header.
Now, that was the drummer of Nirvana, Dave Grohl, who later launched a one-man project called the Foo Fighters, then being joined by other fabulous musicians and becoming one of the most successful rock bands of the past decades now. They did an album covering the Bee Gees under the name The DGs, reference to the name Dave Grohl. That was the clue there, DG, his initials.
All right. We'll have more tomorrow and another great prize. So keep listening around 213, 214. And tomorrow is going to be quite a day over in Bucks County. You heard Pat Poprik, head of Republicans' news conference at 9:30, in front of where the meeting is at 10:30. Jim Worthington, Scott Presler there. And don't forget, 6 days away, we honor the Mount Rushmore of the people who really helped deliver Pennsylvania to President Trump. Jim Worthington, Linda Kearns, Scott Presler, and a few others that will be there. All you have to do is show up at the NAC. You heard Jim. It's the Newtown Athletic Club. He'll have food and drink for people. It's a great space that he has for us. Live broadcast, no registration, no fee, nothing. Just show up and celebrate. I may break out that wine from the Philadelphia Young Republicans. I think it's worthy of this occasion. And you'll meet people who really you've heard so much about, and you heard them here on multiple shows constantly throughout. They're going to stay there, not just an hour. Scott Presler may be there the whole show. We'll see. Throughout, you'll have a chance. So lunchtime, noon, make sure you head over. It's very convenient, great space with Jim Worthington. All right, one of the things that we saw today, other than this story out of New York that we just heard Wally Zimolong about, was Tom Homan early this morning. I don't know if it was Fox and Friends, the early part, coming on and saying on day one, they'll declare a national emergency because of the border. And that means they'll spring into action, and the first target will be to deport all these people that are under deportation order. There's about 1.3 million plus of them. And that's going to take a lot of people and a lot of work. And that is the most solid place to go. It's winning on that. That's what Americans want. A little hazy on the methodology, who'll be doing it, if they have enough ICE agents. The military and support role, I don't know if they'll be the ones arresting. Local law enforcement will be deputized by then in a lot of places. And the battle's going to be in the big blue cities. What do they do as this is going on? So it's going to be quite an eventful day. And one of the groups that will be targeted, and this should be the first, is that Venezuelan prison gang that we've seen so much. The one taking, according to Martha Raddatz, well, they only took a couple of apartment complexes in Aurora, Colorado. Remember that? It was only a couple of them. Come on now. They're
only
now,
a couple. Yeah,
they're now in 6 Tennessee, Texas, Wisconsin, Colorado, and New Jersey. No word yet. Those are the 16 gangs. Yeah. And her response at the end was, come back and say it again. It's the same tactic we played you with Jen Psaki today, saying, how did Republicans get away, she tells Democrats, with making us look foolish on the transgender, sports, and related things? It's only a handful. Senator from Delaware. We're on it. Mike Johnson, Dan, I want to play that again today. Mike Johnson, and we were hearing it on the fly, Dan and I trying to react to it. The speaker was asked today at a news conference to the races. Do you have that?
No, I don't have that. Give me one second.
All right. And it's important because this issue was the sleeper issue.
No, the reason why I hesitated there, he actually clarified on those comments. Do you want the clarification?
Yeah, clarification.
Hello,
sure.
everybody. I just want to make a statement for all of you here and be very clear. I was asked a question this morning at the leadership gaggle, and I rejected the premise because the answer is so obvious. For anybody who doesn't know my well-established record on this issue, let me be unequivocally clear. A man is a man, and a woman is a woman, and a man cannot become a woman. That said, I also believe, that's what Scripture teaches, what I just said, but I also believe that we treat everybody with dignity. And so we can do and believe all those things at the same time. And I wanted to make that clear for everybody because there's lots of questions. But that's where I stand. I've stood there my whole life, and those are facts. Hello.
Okay, now this is in context, though. That's all good. What he said there is good. He got hit with this question early on. What's good about it, though, is that he clarified this. It still doesn't give us what is the solution to this. And again, the solution, you can hear what the speaker is saying. He realizes this. He's a smart guy on this. Here's the original question and how he handled it. This is good. And he got scripture in, and he got also dignity in. What does that mean, though, as far as who gets to use the bathrooms? Here's the original question.
Mr. Speaker, is freshman-elect Sarah McBride a man or a woman?
Look, I'm not going to get into this. We welcome all new members with open arms who are duly elected representatives of the people. I believe it's a command that we treat all persons with dignity and respect, and we will. And I'm not going to engage in silly debates about this. There's a concern about the uses of restroom facilities and locker rooms and all that. This is an issue that Congress has never had to address before, and we're going to do that in deliberate fashion with member consensus on it, and we will accommodate the needs of every single person. That's all I'm going to say about it.
All right, I like what he did in the second. He got the high ground there. Not that the first was horrible, but it was kind of a jumping type of thing, and we've had Nancy Mace and Marjorie Taylor Greene going back and forth all day, and listeners. All right, we'll take more calls on this, but coming up, former city councilman at large and candidate on the Republican side for mayor, David O. with us. We saw what he said the other day about what happened here in Philadelphia, this Senator Pecosi elected, this coalition of all these immigrant groups that Donald Trump did great with. Is that the road forward for Republicans in Philadelphia to keep on making gains? He's next. Hey, it's important to make sure our families have the essentials, food, shelter, and, of course, pure, clean drinking water. There's a lot of news about drinking water these days. Just do what I did and count on Martin Water Conditioning to secure your family's drinking water. The Kinetico system removes all the impurities from your water. What comes out of the tap is crystal clear, all natural water. Not only is it the best tasting water ever, it provides peace of mind knowing that your family's water is pure and clean. The Martin Water Conditioning family is passionate about water. They'll put their 46 years of experience to work for you. Their customer service, attention to detail, just fantastic. They come out to your home, free water test. They're thrilled to show you those impurities being removed, and they give you other solutions along the way. All you have to do is get the test. Contact Martin Water Conditioning. They'll take great care of you. Go to martinwater.com or call 800-887-7555. 800-887-7555.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Pleasant conditions continue in the forecast today. We'll have a mixture of sunshine and clouds with a high temperature still well above average at 62. For tonight, becoming mostly cloudy, low 50 for the city, cooler in the suburbs, and partly to mostly cloudy on Wednesday, still mild with a high 62.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
I love this song! I love nachos.
Loving everything? You might be buzzed.
You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzz warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out.
I'm so stressed from shopping, I couldn't find anything.
Have you tried shopping jewelry television, JTV?
I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different.
JTV has thousands of jewelry styles. Artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax?
Yes. Another round?
Yes.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
Hey, it's Rich Ziola. You know, the other day somebody posted a picture of my old house on the internet. It scared me and my family, but luckily it was my old house. See, I signed up for Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo, and this is essential because as part of it, it's personal information removal. I'm so glad I signed up. Personal information removal helps find and remove your personal information like name, email, and yes, your home address from data broker sites or people search sites that store and sell it. And that helps to combat identity theft and spam. Plus, you want the privacy in this day and age, don't you? Of course you do. So just go to duckduckgo.com/1210 right now and sign up for a week on us, a 7-day free trial, and then it's only $9.99 a month. And it includes a VPN, which you need when you're online no matter where you are, and also identity theft restoration. It is the 3-in-1 Privacy Pro solution you absolutely need, and that's why I signed up for it. duckduckgo.com/1210, duckduckgo.com/1210.
Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed. Their video interview tool makes it easy and effortless to meet with candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, it's been way too long that we've spoken with David O., former Republican candidate, the last time for mayor, and now heading up one of the Asian American business groups in town. And we saw him talking about this win in Northeast Philadelphia by Joe Boccozzi. First time in umpteen years, winning the state Senate with no Republican help from the party there. By this coalition, though, of all these immigrant groups. And President Trump, we had Watley on the other day. Michael Watley talked about Native Americans in Trump, how much it was up. So finally, have we broken through the diversity of the Republican Party, even in a place like Philadelphia? David joins us here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, David, welcome back.
How you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Well, you're welcome. Now, we all know that was your great, and you were enmeshed and still are in all these immigrant groups, particularly there's a lot of them in Northeast Philadelphia, maybe as many as 30, 40, or 50 groups over the years you've been involved in. What can you tell us with Boccozzi and then extending that to Trump happened in Philadelphia, David?
Sure. Well, Boccozzi is a great candidate. We're so excited for him. And he was a breath of fresh air. Now, the thing, however, is that the election, while he was out there working very hard, and that's for sure, but, you know, elections are oftentimes a combination of a number of things, and taking nothing away from Boccozzi and his great team, there was a bigger election, and that was for President of the United States. And this brings everyone out. In this particular case, we could see since 2020 what was happening in Philadelphia. So in 2020, when we look at the number, for example, of registered Democrats to registered Republicans, there was a much larger number of Democrats in the state. And from 2020 to 2024, Democrats began to leave the Democratic Party. And people began to register Republican. So this was not like a sudden shift 6 months before the election. This was an ongoing process that was happening. And in 2020, Biden beat Trump in Pennsylvania by 80,555 votes. It's a very narrow margin. But since 2020, there has been a spread of about 700,000 votes, Democrats who left the Democratic Party and people who joined the Republican Party. And here in Philadelphia, what we saw was that the number of people who voted for Donald Trump in Philadelphia increased from 2020 to 2024 by 47,388 votes. So there's a marked shift. Now, in the Northeast, where Joe Boccozzi is running, it is a very diverse area. And as Joe has said, it's not the Northeast he grew up in. And one of the problems is while you have good people, nice people, friendly people holding the positions in the neighborhoods who are Democrats, people wanted a change. And I think more than anything, people finally, when they did vote, they voted for change. Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, Tulsi Gabbard, J.D. Vance, they all represent getting rid of the deep state, making a change. And people felt that the government in particular is just out of touch with them. And they see it in lockdowns. They see it in doctors who can't tell the between men and women. They see it in being threatened for expressing opinions. Just simple questions are seen as attacks. And the government weighs in a very unfair way. And people felt that the government was strong-arming them and they wanted to reverse the entire thing. And so what we saw was a big turnout. And I could say, for example, in that particular district, a very large turnout of Russian-speaking voters. And when I say Russian-speaking, I mean there's 15 different nations: Georgians, Ukrainians, Belarusians, Uzbeks, Tajiks, Kazakhs. There's a whole group. They are Christians, they are Muslims, they are Jewish, and they all get along well. They all share information. But one thing is they have come from a place where they have seen communism, and they were very, very engaged in being opposed to Harris-Walz and very much for Trump. With the Chinese, who generally, I haven't seen them come out to vote, and I've been up there campaigning. I work up there, but I got a phone call, an alarmed phone call. There are all these Chinese coming out, because they opened a satellite office. And there's an avalanche of Chinese American voters. They don't speak English. They're all trying to register. They're all voting. There's people speaking them in Chinese. And I was surprised. I thought, well, they're not my people in the sense that, we have small business owners that work for Trump.
Right,
we have other people. But where did they come from? And later I found out this was a group called Chinese for Trump. And somehow, I think some of them came down from New York.
Well, David, for listeners, let's bring this, folks. You have to feel really good because you put together a lot of this, but running for mayor in Philadelphia, we're not quite there yet where all this is going to be critical mass, but maybe someday there is a possibility of these people, and you detailed it. They don't want to have what happened in their native countries, and they open up a shop, and they're said to be wrong, they're racist or something else when they're robbed and attacked.
Well, they don't understand it. As you said, look, if you own a business in Philadelphia, the laws, have not been enforced for a very long time by decree of the mayor and other people. And then when crime happens, what they do is they shut down your business. So if you call the police, you're a problem. If you don't call the police, you're a problem. And they don't seem to arrest anyone, and yet, they vilify the business owners. So the business owners got together, particularly Asian American business owners, to send a message. And the message is, we are not voting for who you want, to get your attention. And it kind of reminds me of what happened with Bernie Sanders. The Bernie Sanders people said, you stole this election from us, so we are not going to vote for Hillary Clinton. And the result of which is you're going to end up maybe with Donald Trump. And I think there was the idea on the part of the Democratic strategists that they are not going to vote for Donald Trump. They won't let him win, but they did. And in this case, we had two groups. One is Asian American business owners who said, look, you keep shutting us down, you keep vilifying us, we are not going to support the people.
Okay, here's the big question now moving forward. Do you see the possibility of all these groups, and you're the guy on this, your whole life that I've seen, more events, more people than ever, that they could come together as Krasner is up for election in 2025?
That is a good question. I think this is not one and done. I think what happened on the presidential election is people kind of reclaiming, here's my rights as an American, I won't have the government shut me down. And they like Trump and they like what he's doing. However, voters come out for the president more than anybody else. And the race that they don't come out for whatever reason is the DA's race, is the lowest turnout race. However, Do they like what happened? No. And we just saw in Oakland that the mayor was recalled. The DA in Alameda County was recalled. And these are by immigrant, basically, communities, like Asian American voters have recalled them. They want law and order.
Exactly. Well, David, please, we're a little pressed for time today, but we do want to talk more at length, find out what you're up to. Also, where do people find David O at this point?
Well, at this point, they really can't find me. So
okay.
I am kind of like doing other things, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, okay. Another announcement coming. All right, David. Thank you. Thanks, David, very much.
All right.
All right. Is that a DA's race there? I don't know. Well, it's been a day of big announcements here. The Worthington founding a group in Bucks County. Pat Poprik, thank you. All right, we're coming to you for the lightning round next, but let's talk for a moment about dentistry. Great dentistry, great care. My friend, dentist, board-certified prosthodontist, that's Dr. Robert Bentz of the Bentz Dental Group in East Norriton. We've talked for years about my experience there and literally 100 or more listeners easily over the years that have made Dr. Bentz their dentist, not just for this, that, or other, but their dentist, and that's it. And the reason is the constant advancement, training of staff. Dr. Bentz is somebody that is the go-to dentist on complex cases and the technology. We kid Dan and I about the 3D printer. I remember the first time we played that. But it works. It's predictable. It's consistent. Great dental care, great fit for you, and the sense that you have a plan. You're going to stay out of trouble with your dentistry. And if you've, maybe had some anxiety about the dentist, this is the place to go. They know that. They know how to comfort people, get them into the program, and move on. Why don't you get that initial look-see with Dr. Bentz? That's the best thing you can do. Go to the BentzDentalGroup.com. You'll see all that I told you about, or give a call and get that initial appointment. 610-272-6949. My dentist, my guy, Dr. Bentz, and that 3D printer and all of his staff, 610-272-6949.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
Either of you guys have your Christmas decorations up yet?
No. You?
No. It was 65 degrees yesterday.
We didn't even have fall, and we're just jumping into Christmas. I didn't even get my free turkey yet.
You need to at least wait until Thanksgiving week. Can we all just agree on that?
1,000%.
Friday or Saturday after Thanksgiving till January 1st. Then we're done. Take all your freaking decorations down.
Yeah, I typically take them down right after my birthday, January 3rd. What's the chat saying now?
Nothing.
Is Justin in there crying?
No.
Make sure you check in this week, Justin. Tell us what we're doing wrong.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
Get ready, because Black Friday is on at Gerhardt's Appliances, and it's bigger than ever. We're pulling out all of the stops with this Samsung 4-piece stainless steel package for just $9.99. That's right, $9.99 after rebate. Looking to upgrade your refrigerator to counter depth and have air fry in your range? Well, we got you with this LG 4-piece package for only $19.99 after rebate. Only at Gerhardt's Appliances, the heart of the kitchen for over 80 years.
Tune in to Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturdays at 11 a.m. to hear Phil Cannella and Joanne Small. The Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturday mornings at 11 on Talk Radio 1210.
At PGW, safety is essential to delivering clean, reliable natural gas to Philadelphia homes and businesses. If you smell gas, call PGW at 215-235-1212.
Parks Casino. Joe Conklin hosts national comedians every other Thursday. It's Joe Conklin's Comedy Night at Parks. Show dates and tickets. Go to joeconklin.com. JoeConklin.com!
Wawa's hot turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets, because hot turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. gotta have a Wawa.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
My office has its ups and downs.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, one thing's for certain. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast, and you can invite your top choices to apply. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So, for any kind of office,
I'm really going places in my office.
My office has everything you could ever want.
count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Do you know your numbers? What numbers? Your heart health numbers, your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your blood sugar, and your body mass index. They're important, so ask your doctor. Learn your numbers, and if something doesn't seem right with them, see a Deborah specialist at one of our offices throughout South Jersey. After all, when it's your heart, you don't take chances. Find a specialist near you at demanddeborah.org.
Free speech lives here on Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
That's right. Today's lightning round sponsored by Cherry Hill Volvo. Right now, lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. See store for details. They always go the extra mile for their customers because relationships matter at Cherry Hill Volvo. By the way, before we take answers, Susan Smith is up for parole. We got to touch on that tomorrow. Apparently can't find one character witness. Oh, man, I think in the annals of stuff in talk radio that I remember, this obviously is just one of the worst imaginable. Could Susan Smith get out in South Carolina? Doubtful. All right, side question. Let's go to Joe in Bordentown on Talk Radio 1210. Joe, what is that spinoff? Hi, Joe.
I have a possible solution to the congressional bathroom problem.
And what is that?
That would be to put digital signs outside and in the bathrooms and in the stalls that the transgender person could push to turn it into a unisex bathroom. And also, they could consult with LGBT people about what kind of music would play when this happened.
All right, Joe. We'll send it to Mike Johnson. He's got a full day here. All right. What is your answer for the side question?
Would be Battlestar Galactica 1980. They canceled the original Battlestar Galactica because it cost too much to make. So they came out with this Battlestar 1980, which was like this cheap version of it, where they used the special effects from the original series.
Gotcha, Joe. I think I've seen that in the office with Dwight K. Schrute talking about things like that, at least a little bit. Alan, not a guy in Yardley. Alan, who's the spinoff that's bad?
Oh, can I first say this is not an emergency?
What are you talking about, an emergency?
Oh, you're my emergency contact.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Happy to hear your voice on the other side of the line.
That's right.
Alan.
Oh, yes. That's
right.
glad to hear it. Yes.
And I'm very encouraged that Jim Worthington is going to focus on local Republicans because we really need that effort in Bucks County.
That's big. Yeah, that's going to be one of our themes, Alan. I hope you'll be over there at the NAC 6 days from now.
Plan to be there and plan to be in Doylestown tomorrow morning.
Okay.
So my side question, I know Offspring can be a spinoff. So my Offspring is Liz Cheney for Dick Cheney. Awful.
Pretty bad spinoff.
Yeah. Pretty bad. Well, Dick Cheney's worse, though, I think, than Liz Cheney. At least he used to be seen as that. Drew in Upper Darby. Drew, what's that bad spinoff?
Hey, Dom, thanks a lot. We all know how successful and popular the NFL is, and as a result, other leagues attempted to form their own. The USFL was successful, but the very first one in the early 70s was called the World Football League. And our team was the Philadelphia Bell.
Yes.
We played our home games at JFK. And, Dom, it was so bad, I don't think it even lasted a season.
I think you're right about it. Didn't Trump have a New York team or try to get one?
He had the New Jersey Generals in the United States Football League with Herschel Walker.
Okay. Yeah, Herschel Walker. All right, that is a good one, Drew. Yeah, you can't going against the NFL. I know Vince McMahon and all that stuff. Let me take Tom in Marlton. Tom, what's your spinoff?
Hey, Dom, I just want to say real quick, thank you and Dan and your staff and all the great guests you have on for putting us on the right track again.
Well, thank you, Tom, very much.
And my side question is Jaws. Jaws, was a classic. Jaws 2 was good, but, not as good as the first one. But the third and the fourth ones were horrendous. I think the third one, they even had 3D glasses.
That is a great thing. When you go to the third, it's like Godfather. Second better than the first, but then the third, it's just hard to believe the same people could make those things. All right, Henry, who did you like today?
Yeah, I liked Earl's answer of the Heinz ketchup, the multiple colored ketchups.
Okay.
And I liked Drew's answer there of the World Football League, partially because the Philadelphia Bell, that logo is awesome. We need to use that. Someone needs to use that for something here.
Okay.
Reboot it. Reboot the Bell. I like Green Ketchup Dom, Caddyshack 2, but Ellen Yardley, I usually don't go with the political answer, but it was out of the box and clever. Liz Cheney as a bad spinoff.
Yeah, let's go with that, with Alan there, a little bit outside the box. It was a clever spinoff. All right, tomorrow we have all that action over in Bucks County, and we'll take you, taped to live, sort of, about what happens at this commissioners meeting. And then this situation with the bathrooms, we're on it, and Mike Johnson, who I think what he said at the end was very much on point. And I'll tell you, there's a growing claque of impressive doctors who are essentially on the side of RFK Jr. as we know it as we go forward. And that's going to matter somewhat when we get into the Senate confirmation. I can see the hearings with Marty and some of the others being contentious, because they'll also testify. There's going to be quite a battle over this. All right, so until tomorrow, which is a big day in Bucks County, follow on Twitter at DomShow1210, at DomShow1210. And don't forget, come and join us at the NAC in Bucks County, Jim Worthington's place. 3 big hours, remote broadcast, food and drink. A lot of listeners, we look back, but we also look forward. You heard a lot of that today. Thanks to Dan and Henry for producing a very full show today with a lot of guests landing. Rich Cioli next. 4 big hours. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Phones weren't made to be broken, but life happens. So when you break your phone, Verizon's got you. Trade in any phone in any condition guaranteed and get a great deal on one of their best 5G phones with Unlimited Ultimate. And for a limited time, when you visit your local Verizon store, you can enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and a trip to Super Bowl 59. That's right, 2 tickets to the biggest game of the year. It's just another way Verizon gets you into experiences you love. Hurry in for this once-of-a-lifetime experience. Enter by November 27th at your local Verizon store. Smartphone trade-in must be from Apple, Google, or Samsung.